Hey, you beautiful podcast listeners. Seriously, you folks are the best. We don't tell you that enough, but you are. And we couldn't do this without you, and we couldn't have a podcast if it weren't for our friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Right now, you can save up to $7,500 on a mini-split ductless system or a high-efficiency heat pump combo with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. I know those are some fancy terms, but what it really means is they're going to make sure you're comfortable in your own house. And get this, they even take care of that rebate paperwork for you. Visit standardheating.com to lock in your deal and enjoy the show. And seriously, you guys are the best.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
It's a magical day. Welcome to the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. And thank you. Very special day around here for a few reasons. And we'll cover all of them. But most important of them all, today is Cubby's 50th damn birthday.
Good day, esteemed colleagues and cherished friends.
Yes?
I trust the day has greeted you with grace and favor thus far.
What are we doing?
Oh, I'm trying to become more mature and act my age.
Oh, no.
Now that I'm 50, I feel I should start dressing a little better.
Nobody wants that.
Speak more better.
I kind of expect you to have a monocle on today, you know? As kind of like
you predicted I was going to be more mature?
Yes, I did.
I also pronounce it mature at this point.
Yes, you should, as you're a sophisticated 50-year-old man today.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're going to switch up your wardrobe, I get all your hoodies.
Yeah, you're welcome to it. I love the one I'm wearing right now. This was a gift from former Mopart's Jesus.
You got your Mopar hoodie on.
Yeah, I got my Mopar hoodie on.
50 years ago today, your mother, and don't start with the smart-ass comments.
I'm already nervous about what you're going to say.
No. Why would I? Give me a minute on this, brotherhood. Don't start with the comments just yet. I know I just made a reference to Josh's mother. And that makes a lot of you get fresh right away with the dirty jokes. 50 years ago today, your mother pumped out a little baby, a baby who would end up being the best friend that I ever had, and the most talented radio personality that the Twin Cities has ever known. Happy birthday, lard ass.
Thank you for the text. By the way, that last part's not true, but thank you for the texts that have come in already.
Well, you are putting on a little bit of weight.
Oh, I meant the one prior to the lard ass comment.
Oh, no. The most talented radio personality the Twin Cities has ever known?
I work with that guy.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, that's an honor just to be associated in any way with that particular person.
You're receiving a lot of text messages already.
I know. Thank you so much for that. That's very kind. Honestly, this has been a great way to start the day.
Wait a minute.
What?
That's true, but we really didn't start out all that well. We were completely asleep over here in this room.
Time got away from me.
I already forgot that with the nice text coming in. Thank you very much. I wanted to do a little bit of a test to see if I have matured. I pronounce it mature now. I have matured since yesterday, my last day in my 40s.
Yeah.
Nope, that's still hilarious to me.
You're still enjoying the...
still like it.
Your own private fart sound effect machine over there?
I remember... oh, God.
Oh, man.
And then it comes on down. It goes up, and then it goes down.
It's the question and then realization farts, we've called it. Like this one, it's inquisitive. And then all of a sudden it dawns on you. I remember as a young person thinking ahead to... You know, because I'm on a quarter, right? A quarter of a year here at 25. And so, I was born in 75.
Well, more than that, actually. You talk about here in the building?
No, I'm saying at 25 years into a century. It's a quarter of a century.
Okay. Oh, I see.
So it was easy for me to look ahead and know when my 50th was going to be when I was younger. I'd think of 2025, and I honestly thought I'd be on my deathbed at this point. 50 seems so old.
Right.
And obviously, by the fact the first thing I thought of when I got here today was fart sound effects.
Yeah.
I have not matured since then.
You're doing all right. Do you have any questions about living beyond 50? Because I could answer them for you.
Is it
life beyond the 40s? If you have any questions, I could help you out.
Yeah, is it true if you don't use it, you lose it?
Yeah, I can't answer that question yet. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because it still gets some use.
Yeah.
So
and that's a little surprising because you were going to retire at what age?
Many years ago.
Was it even 40? It was a young age you were going to retire from sex.
I believe it might have been when I was closing in on 40.
Yeah.
I announced my sexual retirement. I did. I announced it on the radio. It was emotional.
There was a lot of disappointed ladies out there.
Disappointment, but yet some nice tributes came in as well.
Certainly.
You're right. I'm Ric Flairing it, you know. I'm claiming I'm done, but I'm never actually done.
You watch enough pro wrestling that there's no way I would have bought that when you first retired from sex.
Yeah, I'm the Ric Flair. I'm the Motley Crue of sexual intercourse. I keep
You're the
promising
Kiss of sexual intercourse.
I keep promising I'm going to leave you alone, but I won't. We've worked side by side for nearly 30 years, by God.
Next year we'll be 30.
I appreciate all you've done for me. So here's to Cubby. If you got something to drink, raise it up. Here's to Cubby on his 50th birthday. I know you're not comfortable with all the attention.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping you guys would forget, and it was very obvious when you walked in you didn't.
No.
And I'm glad the abuse has still come in. I mean, for example, one of my kids, there's no way he's going to know or remember, which I kind of like. He remembers everybody's birthday in the family but mine. We were testing him a few days ago. He didn't even know what month I was born.
Is this, you're speaking of my godson?
Your godson, yeah. No interest whatsoever.
You asked him yesterday, you said?
A couple days ago, my wife mentioned it and asking, hey, do you know what's significant about this week? He had no clue. And she mentioned that he didn't even know what month, nothing. He didn't know how old I was going to be.
I wonder if it's a dude thing, because I always could tell you my mother's birthday, but with my dad's, I was always a day or two off. I could always get the month.
Okay.
But throughout all of his life, I would usually call him to wish him a happy birthday a day early or a day late.
So that's better than me. And this is why it doesn't bother me at all with my kid, because with my dad, it's funny how that is, right? Mom,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Maybe my mom made a bigger deal out of it. I don't know.
Well, that's exactly what the hell. Where the hell's my bell? Of course, your mother made a bigger deal out of it.
Maybe that's the case.
Mother's like the guilt trip the living hell out of you.
And my dad, I knew it was June or July.
Right.
And I still, to this day.
It was warm out. Yeah, I know it's warm out when he has his birthday.
So I'm like, wait a minute, was it June or July? And knowing his age, I also did. I knew an age range. I remember my uncle Mike, may he rest in peace, even when he was in his 50s, he was so off on his mom's age, he de-aged her by about 20-some years. And, it's funny, you'd think she'd be flattered by that, my grandma. She was enraged that he wasn't anywhere near it.
That's a pretty huge gap. I do use my mom's...
Show you a huge gap.
I use my mom's birth year to figure out how old my dad is, because I know that, all right, she was born in 1960, 8 years apart. All right, 52. There you go.
You do what you got to do to survive. I saw that you're already receiving messages on our text machine. 651-989-9393 is our text number if you'd like to send Josh a birthday message, or if you have something tasteless to say about his mother. Would you like to open a present or two?
Yeah.
You don't got to go through all of them, but if you'd like to open one or two.
Seriously, this is too much. And thank you again for the text coming in. I don't know if I'll be able to get back to everybody, but so I'll tell you now. I really appreciate it.
It's a special day. It's Cubby's 50th birthday special edition special show.
You walked in with an odd-shaped present.
No, don't.
Okay, I was just going to ask.
Don't even acknowledge that one.
It means a lot to me, your buddy House. I love him. I love all your friends. I'm very intimidated by one of them, but I love him. And so you brought in this gift where you said, I'm a little nervous because this might get me sent to HR.
Oh, that's fun.
Can I explain just what it looks like on the outside?
You can explain what you can see from the outside.
Okay.
Yes, a pal of mine who Josh knows quite well called me last night and said, are you home tonight? I said, well, I'm going to the Legion for dinner. Do you want to meet me over at the Legion? He said, yeah, because I've got something for Josh's birthday. And I said, well, I'll be at the Legion around 7. And he says, well, I'll try to be there by 7. I'm not quite done making his present yet.
Oh, my gosh. Cute.
And I said, making? What? In the end, he brought this in. He wrapped it up. I know what's inside. I don't think we should say on the radio what's inside.
You know, I think just explaining what it looks like right now is good enough.
Yes, okay.
Okay, so this is obviously a 5-gallon bucket, right? It's wrapped, but it feels like a bucket, and it's got the bucket handle on it.
Right.
It's wrapped in penis paper where there's a bunch of little penises, a variety of penises.
Right. I'm guessing his woman might have gone to a bachelorette party or something recently, so I can't picture House running out to a party zone or whatever and buying penis wrapping paper, but that's what he wrapped your gift in.
There's a rubber penis on it, like a little rubbery penis, and
it dances around when you move.
It does.
Yeah, when you move it jumps around.
It has a rubber ring around the rubber penis that says, "Don't be a dick."
Right.
And then, for some reason, there's about a 2-foot straw taped to the side.
Yes. That is for you, but I don't think you should unwrap it on the radio.
All right, I won't.
Interesting.
But I think that right there, that's good enough. I mean, that's gift enough right there.
It's just fun to look at.
Mystery is fun.
What, Dana, I got an inside look a few days ago into a present for Josh's birthday. Where is that? I think he should open
which
that.
Which one?
It's the big brown box.
No, it's the white box. The white box on
there's
top of the
another
brown
box?
box, yes.
Can I just tell you, this is the worst wrapped gift I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, the wrapping.
That's hilarious.
So who is this from?
This is from, you can read it right there on top, Josh. There should be a little note.
Medical device Jesus.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Medical device Jesus.
He
a
mailed
listener who attends our events and texts a lot. We know he listens every day. I saw this a few days ahead of time, and I thought, wow, that's really special. So I think you should get to that. I see you're on your feet over there. You're unwrapping.
I told Dana that I thought Josh was going to cry.
Oh, my God. Oh, my gosh. Wow. Okay, so one of me and Nick's favorite bands is Mr. Big. Mm-hmm. Their guitar player, Paul Gilbert's my favorite guitar player. Oh, the whole band. They're incredible.
1 year ago, we actually missed a day of work in order to attend their final show in the Twin Cities, which was last February, and it was just an awesome event.
My favorite album of theirs, Lean Into It. Medical Device Jesus got me an autographed picture of the album cover. Mm-hmm. Oh, is this actually the record cover? Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I didn't look that closely.
And it's autographed.
Autographed by every member of the band?
Yeah, I can't believe that. Thank you so much.
Isn't that something?
Wow, this is great.
I thought that would be a good start for your gift opening.
You know, we have at home, we've got one framed picture, not a picture, I guess, a decoration on the wall. And it has the birth dates of the kids, our anniversary date. It has all those.
Kind of like a cheat sheet for you.
Yeah, kind of a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's very nice. You know, it's beautiful. I will be taking that down today and replacing it with this gift from Medical Device Jesus.
The old LP, the Lean Into It record with the band's autographs. That's really cool.
I can't. Thank you so much.
That's awesome.
You know, it's especially cool coming from a guy, Medical Device Jesus, who can really aggravate us at times.
I've never been aggravated.
To think that he would be so thoughtful. Grab another one real quick. Or did he send you a letter, too?
Yeah, I'll read this later, obviously.
There's probably a lot of complaints in there, probably.
I'd imagine.
Yeah, he complains a lot.
Insults.
Yeah.
Which one?
I have no idea. That's the only one that I was aware of.
Okay.
So
I made yours.
You did?
So there's another homemade one. Yeah, it's the red one there.
let's get to the homemade gifts first, and then we'll get to what Dana and I got from Goodwill.
But I think it's more normal for me to provide a homemade gift than your buddy House.
Then
Are you kidding me? All right, Ashley, you're going to make me cry here. I almost cried a few times this morning.
Don't get too emotional here.
All right, she made me a custom T-shirt that says "Honorary Uncle." I think I've been more. I was just talking to a buddy about this yesterday. I think I've been more excited about your impending baby than you have. I can't wait. I can't wait to be an honorary uncle. I'm really looking forward to it.
Cubby's got baby
I'm glad
fever.
you like it.
Yeah, this is perfect. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Well,
I like that Nick, are the pink bags from you?
from the wife.
Oh, all right. I had a good image in my head of you going to the store and picking out some pink bags for Josh.
No, I I would not be the guy to pick out a pink bag. My wife tells me last night that she and Josh have become friendly lately.
Huh. Yeah, we've been friendly for as long as I've known you.
And so she bought you some things for your birthday, and so did I. I just had them in a brown Amazon box. And then last night,
That's usually how I wrap stuff, too.
As I was falling asleep, she said, I put the gifts in gift bags. Like with a bunch of attitude behind it. And I said, well, thank you. Go ahead, grab something from me.
Which one?
I didn't put them in the bags. The wife did, so I can't remember what's what. Go ahead with that. Go ahead with that one. Josh's 50th birthday special edition special show here.
This is great. So I got an HGTV House Hunters bingo book.
That's from the wife.
Awesome.
That's from my wife. She knows you like to watch those shows. That's also from my wife.
Oh, my gosh. I didn't even know they did this. She got me a book that the Property Brothers, also from HGTV, wrote. It takes two, our story. I'll tell you what. I'm surprised this isn't more pages in this book. We got about 300 pages. These guys are fascinating dudes.
What are their names again? You love them.
Jonathan and Drew.
Jonathan and Drew, the Property Brothers.
Yeah, I have a customized cornhole set with Jonathan and Drew.
So can I see that bingo book? Because I did look through that at home while it was sitting on the counter. So you watched their show called House Hunters.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it.
And then
it's always the third house.
That's the one they buy?
Seems like.
The third house? And then it's just like any other bingo card. You mark off a spot when someone says something like, I don't like this paint color. This carpet has to go.
Does it say anything about their budgets? Because that's my favorite part of the show.
Boy, there's everything in here. It's too far from work. I love the high ceilings. This is so friggin' ridiculous. What am I looking for? A budget-related comment?
Because this is the best. We got to set up a budget here. What's your guys' budget? Well, neither one of us has ever had a job.
Oh, yeah.
Right around $400,000, 400 grand.
There's got to be a budget comment in here somewhere.
It has to be.
They either have never had jobs or one of them is like a freelance artist and the other one has a candle making business.
That hasn't launched yet.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, they have no money, but they buy these very expensive homes.
And they also do it this way, too, where they say, well, what are you looking for? We're thinking like 7 beds, 6 baths, pool, indoor gym, 5-car garage attached, of course. Okay, what's your budget? We're in like the $150,000 range.
You're right. That's the opposite, right?
So
they're a little unrealistic.
You frequently watch these types of programs, and so does my wife, so that's why she wanted to make sure you got some House Hunters-related presents on your birthday. But it's just funny reading the comments here that count for bingo when you play House Hunters bingo. These are obviously quotes that you hear a lot on the show. I like this one. I can put my TV here. This kitchen has to go. Oh, here we go, Josh. You mark off a spot if somebody says, this is way above our budget. That's
so much fun.
I'm not into those types of programs, but you guys, okay.
This is incredible. You got me a Rocky IV lunchbox.
This is from me, Rocky IV lunchbox.
You can bring
And
your
cake.
protein bars and your bananas to work in there.
And Rambo socks.
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
And I got you.
Balboa boxing
my
shorts.
Put them on.
These American flag. I don't know. These might be a little intimate, Ashley.
Those are the actual trunks that Rocky wore in the ring against Ivan Drago Christmas Day, 1985.
I can smell the excellence.
Exactly. Those are the shorts he wore in that title fight from 1985. Obviously, knowing you're a big Stallone guy, I wanted to get you some Stallone related gifts. You got the Rambo socks, Rocky's USA, what do you call them, trunks, and a lunchbox, because you do bring food to work.
Yeah, I do.
Which I never eat at work. Nobody does, except for you.
Ashley
and Ashley, now that she's pregnant, she eats every day at work. So why not bring your apple and your peanut butter and jelly sandwich in a Rocky IV lunchbox like you're a friggin' third grader.
Maybe your wife can leave you a little note in the lunchbox each morning. Have a great day at work, honey. Love you.
She does that. She left me one in my backpack. I haven't read it yet.
Oh, that is so sweet.
Love it.
It used to come with coupons for sexual things.
Oh.
It hasn't had one of those in a long time.
Well, just wait till you open my present.
Do you want to open something from Dana real quick?
Yeah, go look at that ratchet wrapping job. Ashley, you know what it is inside.
Yeah, I love this gift, Dana.
By the way, I'm going to put on all these clothes when we go to commercial.
Good.
Luckily, we usually have 15-minute commercial breaks. I got plenty of time.
All right, there's a giant Amazon box over here that Josh is peeling open. This is from Dana. Is there
Dude, did you have to go to the gym before this?
It's a very heavy box. It's what it is, Josh. You turn 50, and I know there's certain things you love, and I know you love practical gifts, so I got you 25 cans of chunky soup and 25 cans of Diet Mountain Dew.
This is unbelievable. Did you even refrigerate these?
I carried it to my trunk last night because I needed help from my fiance to get it in there. It is a very heavy box.
That's awesome.
Dana.
At 50 years old, getting soup and Diet Mountain Dew, that's perfect.
Well, do you know what's so funny, too? Because we were talking about chunky soup the other day, Josh. We were bonding over the fact that we both love steak and potato. And I was like, well, I don't want to give him 25 steak and potatoes. That might be a little overkill. So I texted your wife, and I asked her, what other flavors does she like? And she mentioned a couple, and then she also said... And he is turning 50, so if there's a low sodium option available.
Did she really say that?
That's my
She
favorite
needs to mind
part.
her own business.
She just dragged you.
That's hilarious.
I'll tell you, when a 50-year-old man receives soup and highly caffeinated soda in mass quantities, I also hope someone got you some toilet paper for your birthday.
My favorite thing about getting that gift, Josh, is I ran it by Ashley this week. I said, do you think that'd be kind of funny? And she's like, yeah, it would be. So I go to the store, and I'm pushing my cart around. I get 25 cans of chunky soup, 25 cans of Mountain Dew, and then I didn't need anything else, but I saw, there's some Doritos on sale. I got some Doritos. There's a couple frozen pizzas. So I go and check out 25 cans of chunky soup, 25 cans of Mountain Dew, 2 bags of Doritos, 2 frozen pizzas. I must have looked like a guy who just found out his wife has been banging his brother, going through a big midlife crisis. That was not the shopping cart of a guy who's getting married on Saturday.
Yeah, you're either a doomsday prepper or a recently divorced dad.
Maybe you're throwing a soup party.
I got to start watching this House Hunters television show because I don't know if I'm going to give you back this House Hunters bingo book that my wife gave you for his birthday. I got to start watching the show just to hear grown people say some of these comments as they're looking at a possible home to buy.
Yeah, that's where you get, a lot of those shows, but that one too, like South Park did the whole open concept deal.
I never saw it.
Oh, you didn't see that episode?
No.
Yeah, that was, everybody wanted an open concept.
So you make a mark on your House Hunters bingo card if any grown person says, this would be great for the dogs.
I've totally said that when looking at a house, too.
You mark off your bingo card if a grown person gets in the tub or shower when they're looking at the bathroom.
I love that movie.
The problem with those shows is somebody always, the recipe is you got the one wacky person, right? And sometimes they're good at it, and other times it is so uncomfortable because you can tell how forced it is. And I don't know, is it a producer saying, all right, you're the wacky person, or are they just seen enough of those shows to know that's the recipe?
Probably a little bit of both.
You think so?
The producers want them to play it up. They also realize this is their one shot on TV. They want to make the most of it by acting a little goofy.
What else do they have on that list?
How about when one spouse says to the other, and I'm imagining they're looking at a large closet, well, this closet will work for me. Where are you going to put your clothes? And everybody roars with laughter. And also, mark off a spot on your House Hunters bingo card if mom and dad come along for the showing. that sounds like fun. I mean, everyone loves a good bingo type of a gimmick like we do with the state fair.
Yeah, it's great. And what's great about that is, I mean, you're going to get bingo on those. They nailed it. This is great. Thank you guys so much, and thanks again for the text coming in.
Oh, well, it's a
What a wonderful day.
Special day. You only turn 50 once. I'll tell you that right now.
Did you feel old at 50? I felt older at 28 when I realized I was going to be 30 soon enough.
Here's
right?
the deal. I felt old before 50.
Yeah, me too. I don't feel as old anymore.
46, 47, 48. That's when I officially really started to feel old in a lot of different ways. Physically, you're limited. In my mind, I'm no different than when I was 20. But just shortly before 50, I started to really feel old, kind of tired.
Are you more out of shape than you think you are? I've noticed that there's certain things I think I can do, and then I get exhausted at an embarrassingly quick rate.
I'm not surprised by my inabilities anymore. So your question was, am I more out of shape than I think I am? No, I'm about as out of shape. I'm right at where you know what I mean?
I'm starting to realize that maybe I got to scale back what I think I can do at this age and what I really can.
I started limiting myself a few years ago, so there are no more surprises. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm very aware of my limitations and how out of shape I really am.
Like, relatively recently, I moved one of our kids, right?
That was the dumbest thing. For how many weeks ahead of time did I tell you not to do that?
Maybe 6.
Right.
And I was looking forward to the exercise, really. I thought this would be good. Now, she moved to a place where we had to go up 3 flights of stairs. And it's an
stupid.
old house, so that they're real tiny.
That's just ridiculous.
And I'm not kidding. I thought I was going to have a heart attack, where I had to fake I was okay. I had to go sit in the bathroom and recover for like 20 minutes because I thought I was going to die carrying stuff up those stairs. It was embarrassing. And then everybody else is totally fine, but I was next to death.
Because they're in their friggin' early 20s. I was mad at you for a while for that. Why are you agreeing to move a 20-some-year-old kid? But my anger then was redirected to your stepdaughter. Why are you asking a near 50-year-old man to do this? Make a phone call. You're in your 20s. You don't got any friends to help you move?
She had some friends help.
Not enough.
Yeah, I'll tell you, next time I'm just going to save up a little and hire some movers. She did say, okay, if you can't do it, hire me the shirtless movers. Those topless.
What do you mean hire me? She's got a job.
The topless guys.
Yeah, the buff, tough moving company, whatever.
She was very excited
I
about
highly
that.
recommend getting movers. They don't even have to be shirtless. That is the best move in the world.
I think next time we move, which I really hope is the retirement home, and I hope it's very quick, that we get movers.
As I mentioned, this is a special day for a few reasons. Josh's 50th birthday being the most important, of course. But on top of that, today is the season opener for the Minnesota Twins. Golden Gopher hockey plays tonight in the NCAA tournament. Alex Ovechkin plays in town against the Pigs tonight. And the March Madness, as they call it, kicks back in tonight. So,
Josh, it's also
a hell of a deal.
It's also Reacher Thursday.
Oh, yeah, it's season finale.
Heck yeah.
That's sort of like
The
some
season
sexual event.
And also, there's a new episode of The Pit. Wow, this is a great day.
A little Reacher, a little Pit.
Oh, yeah.
There's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. But we better take a little break, Ski. Josh, you can open up that filthy gift off air if you like.
Hey, I got to see what's in there.
No, you don't.
No, it's that bad?
You don't want to see. We'll continue on with Cubby's 50th birthday special edition special show after this and that. We'll be right back.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show.
Hey, you beautiful podcast listeners. Seriously, you folks are the best. We don't tell you that enough, but you are. And we couldn't do this without you, and we couldn't have a podcast if it weren't for our friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Right now, you can save up to $7,500 on a mini-split ductless system or a high-efficiency heat pump combo with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. I know those are some fancy terms, but what it really means is they're going to make sure you're comfortable in your own house. And get this, they even take care of that rebate paperwork for you. Visit standardheating.com to lock in your deal and enjoy the show. And seriously, you guys are the best.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Progressive loves to help people make smart choices. That's why they offer a tool called Auto Quote Explorer that allows you to compare your Progressive car insurance quote with rates from other companies. So you save time on the research and can enjoy savings when you choose the best rate for you. Give it a try after this episode at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
This is a PSA, or public sock announcement. Experts have declared Bombas socks as the best way to warm up chilly feet. These pairs are super cushy, soft, and designed for maximum coziness. Plus, for every pair purchased, another pair will be donated, so someone in need of essential clothing can stay warm this winter. Go to bombas.com/listen and use code LISTEN for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com/listen and use code LISTEN at checkout.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Today is Cubby's 50th birthday special edition special show. We welcome all of you, and we appreciate it. Josh, I see many, many, many happy birthday messages being sent into our text machine.
Yeah, this is very, very kind. Thank you. I'm doing my best to get back to people, so if I don't, please know I certainly appreciate it. This has been awesome.
You're going to have to work all day to get back to everybody.
Thank you very much.
Many text messages. 651-989-9393, by the way, is the number. 2 pumps and a quiver, Jesus, even went ahead and sang for you. Why have all of us sing happy birthday when 2 pumps and a quiver, Jesus, can go ahead and sing for all of us?
Happy birthday to you.
It's very nice.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Joshua, from the Half-Assed 93X Morning Show. Happy birthday to you.
What a beautiful rendition.
Wow.
I also had 2 pumps in a quiver with that.
I was going to say, I have a tear in my eye and a semi right now.
Oh, very nice.
The guy can carry a tune.
Yeah, he should go into it. I mean, he should do that for a living.
Go
ahead.
And the way he shimmied in the show name there, mwah, beautiful.
Now, I took a quick look at the text messages. They're all directed to you, but I got a little snoopy and I looked at 1 or 2. This is my favorite that's come in for you so far here today, Josh, on your 50th birthday. It says simply this: now that you've turned 50, your insurance will probably cover dick pills.
Yeah, maybe I'm not too far away from that. We've discussed this before, and my wife has said it will hurt her feelings and she might be a little offended if all of a sudden nature takes its course and I'm no longer able to get an erection, which I probably would want. She'd be enraged.
I don't even want to get into that again. She'll be a little offended.
Yeah.
Well, look, this is just how things work.
That's what I
It's
explained.
not your fault.
I said it's a medical Have you watched any commercial ever?
Right.
50% of them are boner pills.
If there's 5-6 of you in the room right now, nothing's going to happen. She's so sensitive. She is. All right. Oh, you know the folks who enjoy a life of peddling and using hard street drugs. They're a tough crowd to get through to. Many have tried. They're a tough crowd to get through to. And now I know it's easier said than done, but if I was a seller or a user of dangerous street narcotics, I would at least try really hard to never go anywhere in my car with narcotics. You're almost sure to do prison time because the police find the dope every damn time.
I'm with you. And certainly your car would be pristine and your driving conduct would be, just the best on the road.
Perfection.
I have 2 uncles who I've barely met for this reason. They've been in and out of jail for drugs, selling and using. Unfortunately, one of them passed away from an overdose. But that particular uncle, I have 2 memories of. And one of them is when he showed me how to hotwire a Volkswagen Rabbit.
Hell yeah.
when I was maybe in third grade.
Hey, if you're going to steal a car, steal the best one.
Yeah, he's like, all right, this is what you do. And he showed me how to. There's no way I can remember, but I remember there were some wires being put together, just like in the movies back in the day. But that's one of the other memory was just a family birthday party.
Also, if I was a seller or a user, I'd at least try, to keep from driving while high, because obviously wiping out a bus full of school kids isn't going to make my life or anyone else's life any easier. And I'd also try to keep my terrible drug habit away from my kids. Kids have enough challenges to get through. They shouldn't have to babysit an adult who can't stop smoking rock. Here's a guy from the Alligator State who couldn't check any of the boxes that I just mentioned. The cops pulled him over a night or two ago. He was driving around higher than a giraffe's ass. He was so doped up that he was passing out while being questioned by the police. They pull him over. They're trying to ask him simple questions. He's falling in and out of consciousness.
So sad.
He had a pile of narcotics on him while driving. Again, there he is with the driving. Dude's name is Thomas or something. He's 41 and still acting like this. Thomas has an interesting look going for him. I got a look-see at his mugshot. He looks like he hasn't had anything to eat in 5 or 6 years. Pale as a corpse, this guy. And he's got the $2 face tattoos going on. If you asked me to draw a picture of a person who smokes dangerous street dope, this is what I'd come up with.
Yeah, he's not shattering any stereotypes here. And he also looks like he's barely awake in this mugshot.
He's so tired.
He's having trouble.
Again, while pulled over on the side of the road, this Thomas puke bag struggled to stay awake, was fading in and out of consciousness while the cops questioned him, and he's got a couple of kids in the car. That's great. That's a sign that you're doing great. He had enough drugs in the car to get himself thrown into jail. And then later, when he was searched at the station, they found a hell of a lot of meth rocks in his dirty drawers. Now, we got a quote out of Thomas while he was in custody. He told one of the cops, quote, there's nothing wrong with drugs. Well, obviously not. I mean, look at where you're at in this moment. Without a doubt, there's nothing wrong that comes from drugs. Not a thing. Despite his convincing sales pitch, Thomas was charged with all kinds of drug-related this and that. His kids got to be wondering how they got so lucky, huh?
I love in the picture that they took of the bust, like cops do, like where they take a picture of all the drugs that they found.
Sure.
There's also a $20 bill and a $5 bill.
Had to get it all in there.
My favorite are all the cards to a Suboxone clinic.
Oh, I didn't even notice that's what that was.
That's what those are.
Cards to a what?
Suboxone clinic.
What is that now?
Like a place to treat some dependence on opioids, I think.
Oh, so at least
or maybe that's an actual drug to do it, but there's a place to go get it. And so, does he hand it out to his clients?
Yeah, what the heck? Here's a little bit of meth, and here's how you get off the meth.
Did we put this Cutie Pie's mugshot on our website?
I'm working on it right now.
Check out the $2 face tattoos. That's my favorite. All right. Oh, we've traded these types of stories back and forth a time or two on this here radio program. We have. Talking about what our dogs will go ahead and eat when nobody's looking.
We've definitely had some keepers at our house, but nothing will compare to what our veterinarian, Dr. Andrea, told us.
What are some of the stories she shared now? I've forgotten them already.
Well, the most
usually
notable
because
one,
I'm lost in her eyes.
She's very attractive.
Understandable.
When she's in the building.
The most notable, of course, would be the dog where she pulled 30-some used tampons out of.
Yeah.
Wasn't it in the 30s?
It
like
was.
34 or something?
Oh, God.
It was an incredible number.
Yeah.
Because I remember asking her if this dog lived at a sorority. How do you get that many tampons at one time?
And did you feel like it was like a clown thing where they just kept coming, pulling them all out one by one?
Oh, and then there was that dog where they came in for something else and they did an x-ray and found a golf ball in its stomach.
Oh, yeah.
I don't recall. What does that dog live at a sorority?
I do love
that joke. Doesn't really apply there, does it?
Oh, I liked it.
I thought maybe it would work every time.
It works good.
You got to consider the setup.
Yeah. I like that she's a professional. She's been doing this since a tender young age. She's very professional, very knowledgeable. But I love that even when that happened, pulling all those the tampons out, she's laughing her ass off.
How can you not?
All right. Yeah, I mean, we all have a story or two about what our dogs went ahead and ate when you had your back turned. Here's a gal who's out 13 effing grand because her stupid dog ate 5 pairs of her little undies. Now, that's the vet bill, the 13 grand, not the cost of her drawers. Her name is Sarah. She adopted a little dog called Rita, I believe. She spelled it wrong, but anyway. She adopted a little dog, named it Rita, a terrier mix. Cute little sumbitch. I saw a picture of Rita. She just got the dog a couple of months ago. Fun, huh? Brand new dog. At least new to you. One day, Sarah came home and saw the dog lying down on a pile of dirty clothes. And Sarah noticed that 5 pair of her little panties were missing. And she knew what had happened. The damn dog had upped and swallowed them.
I would have never noticed that.
Why would you not notice 5 missing pair of underwear?
Well, she used to throw them out of the car.
Oh, right. You keep a lot of underwear.
Yours are disposable.
I assume they would be in the wash or in one of the drawers that I just don't know.
Well, eventually it would probably dawn on you, right? I'm missing 5 pairs of drawers. I don't know. Maybe you don't ever look at what you pull
Not really,
onto
no.
your body. Sarah hoped that Rita the dog might throw up the drawers, but she didn't, so off to the vet the two of them went. The vets had to carve the dog open and haul her intestines out of her body and put them on the table next to the dog in order to remove all the underwears from her guts. Who was it? That story rings a bell, Josh. Don't we know a human being who went through that? Where there was such a problem with their guts that the doctors had to remove them from his or her body, put them on the table next to him.
Yes. So
God dang it.
It's a buddy of mine who you know.
You're right.
Yeah, and so it was actually his back. He was at a corporate party for his work, and they were horsing around. Some guy came up behind him, picked him up. It was a pool party. The dude that picked him up slipped, and they both fell hard.
Yeah.
Oh.
And my friend's back was destroyed. And so he had to have the I'd never heard of this. Like you said, they lay him down. He's laying on his back. They pull out all of his organs, set him on trays next to him, and they put like a titanium in his spine.
Titanium rod.
He's Iron Man at this point.
God dang. So again, this dog, they fillet the dog open, take out all the dog's guts, put it on the table to pull these drawers, 5 pairs of women's drawers, out of the dog's insides. And the vet bill was $13,000. Oh. Where the hell? I have other information here.
I was thinking about this yesterday. That amount of money for, that's tough, right? Making that decision. First and foremost, I'm going into debt if I do this. I mean, I just don't have 13 grand sitting around. But I wonder if I were to tell my family, hey, gosh, this situation sucks. We just can't afford that. I wonder if I'd be kicked out of the house.
Come on, for $13,000?
It's so much money.
Your family, as selfish and as ungrateful as they come off, they've got to understand you just can't suddenly spit up $13,000.
Yeah, that's why pet insurance is very, very helpful in these kind of situations.
I've never looked into that. I know a lot of people who wouldn't have spent $13,000. They just let that dog walk into the light.
My dog got their leg amputated, and it was only $3,000. I can't imagine if it was anything more than that.
Well, amputation is pretty simple, right? You cut it off.
Yeah, that's what Dr. Andrea told me last week, actually. She said not to be, harsh or anything, but it is pretty easy to just cut that thing off.
Yeah.
I got to be honest. If the doctor told me they had to perform surgery on me for $13,000, I would tell my family, just let me go.
Put me down.
That's so much money.
It's tough. Like you said, it's tough because we all love our pets.
That would be awful.
But
to be
for
in
a lot of us, there's a line you don't cross financially. That's just the brutal truth.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when Megan Marie, the best girl in the whole world, our Springer Spaniel, in 1988 or something, had to have some type of surgery, and it cost $750. And I could not believe that my dad agreed to save her life. And she went on and lived another, nearly 10 years. But we're talking $750. It was iffy. I remember when I heard the cost, I knew in my head, because I was a 17-year-old kid, I wasn't completely stupid. I knew, this could go either way. The old man could agree, or he could disagree with this. But what's funny about it, he loved her too. Of course, he just was one of those guys that didn't always show it, although he did sing to his dogs. But anyway, after the surgery, and she's trotting around the house as a normal dog again, every once in a while when she crossed his path, I'd hear my dad go, $750 dog.
I think about that with the kids and braces.
He had second guesses, you know.
My son, your godson was born via IVF. I think about that sometimes. If he's not going to clean his room, how much money that was. I did. I hope this isn't rude to bring up, but our first contract, we were making $21,500 for a very, very long time working here at this radio station.
Oh, wow, that's so much.
Yeah.
How many vacations did you go on?
Pretty much weekly. Went out every weekend, flew out of town. And the reason I mentioned that is because I have spent an incredible amount of money compared to my income before. And it was because I felt at fault. I had a girlfriend who moved in with me, and she had two cats. One of the cats ate all the rubber stoppers off, the door stoppers, just the little rubber ends.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Took the rubber ends. And we didn't realize it at first until he was puking constantly. He just kept puking, and they're like, oh. We looked in there. There's something lodged. You
looked in where?
They looked in the cat.
Oh, I'm sorry. The vets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they said, we can go in and get it, but it's not going to be cheap. And so I felt responsible, and of course, go ahead. And it was like $1,500. And then about a week later, the same thing started happening. I thought I had gotten all the little rubber things off the stoppers. Apparently, I missed one because here it happened again, so it was another $1,500.
Oh, man.
And you didn't have a pot to piss in.
No, I mean, it took me probably 3-4 years to pay that off. I mean, and the interest was out of control.
Yeah.
So I have done that once, but I felt completely responsible. They weren't my pets. So to me, it was an easy enough decision.
Well, this year, gal, Sarah is her name. She maybe she comes from money. I don't know. But she spent the $13,000 to save her dog, who ate all of her panties, and the dog's guts were in terrible shape. Rita, again, the dog's name. When Rita woke up after surgery, she was scolded.
She should be.
I don't think I would be able to do that.
They're
all drugged up.
She was scolded. And then they fitted her with the cone of shame so she can't eat away at the massive incision on her little belly. Sarah started a GoFundMe to help pay for the surgery. Sorry, your dog is not my problem. And also, this is so effing stupid. Sarah has also reached out to Kim Kardashian for help because they were Kim Kardashian brand panties that the dog chewed up and swallowed.
Shoot your shot. Why not?
Good luck with that.
My dog ate a 93X T-shirt, and we're looking for a little money.
Fine. I'll
You know
say.
what? So are we around here, Dana.
I think I'd eat Kim Kardashian's panties.
Yeah, I probably would.
A little seasoning on there.
She wouldn't be the first one on my list out of the family.
Not
No.
the first?
Oh, which one?
Probably Kendall Jenner.
Kendall Jenner.
You would.
She seems to be more modest, if there could be that in that family.
She seems like the most down-to-earth one, if that's possible.
You would eat a pair of her drawers?
Yep.
All right.
There's Dental Babe Jesus knows someone who $15,000 surgery for their dog. They had pet insurance. I always thought until Dr. Andrea told us otherwise, I believe I'm correct that she said this, that I thought pet insurance was kind of a scam. And apparently it's not. We've had plenty of people text in and say, no, it saved my ass.
Yeah, that and I think it's a care card. That's what my mom uses. And I think you can use it for other medical expenses too, not just your dog, but it's definitely come in handy a lot of times with her puppies.
A care card? I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, I do not qualify.
Speaking of folks and their dogs, this is my favorite. How should I say this? Well, it's related to whether or not you put your dog down or whether you allow it to remain living. I guess that's the only way I can put it. An old-timer I used to know, he's checked out now. He had this broken-down old hunting dog, and for quite a stretch of time, when that dog would wake up in the morning, he could see it on the dog's face. The dog was older than the hills, just like the dude. He could see it on the dog's face. When that dog would wake up in the morning, the dog would go, for Christ's sake, another day, huh? You know, it was just the dog would cross the room so slowly. And, he's just tired as hell. Like, for God's sake, this is taking forever. So this old boy decided one day he's going to put his dog down. And I know a few guys like this. They do it themselves. So
I could never.
Neither could I. Old timer takes his old hunting dog outside the house. He's got a rifle with him, and they're going to walk into the woods. He's going to put his dog down. And the dog is doing that slow walk that it's been doing for the last couple of years. Just, well, old boy fires at his dog to put it down, and he misses.
Oh, no.
And hearing that gunshot, suddenly this old as balls hunting dog perked up, and the dog was, at least his face led the old timer to believe the dog was thinking, we're hunting again. Yay, where are we going? And suddenly the dog is all spirited and going, wait, where's the birds? What are we doing? And so the old boy thought, well, I can't kill him now.
No, you can't.
So
That's tough.
I don't know how much longer the dog lived, but suddenly the old guy thought, well, then now I can't put him down. Look how happy he is. So at least in that moment, he kind of brought that dog back to life when his intentions were the exact opposite.
Yeah, we had to unfortunately put down one of our dogs last year, and I knew it was going to be difficult. It had been a long time since I've had to do that or been a part of that. And I thought, this is going to be difficult, but my gosh, I was a puddle. It was so much harder than I remember. That was terrible. I think part of it is that dog meant everything to my wife, more than I could ever mean to her. And so she was destroyed for a long time.
I've never been present for something like that. When our family dog passed away, my parents, I wasn't home that night, and they made a really good decision to not contact me because they didn't want me to have to see the dog in that situation because his body wasn't doing great. And I don't think I could handle it. I don't think so. I don't think I could come back from that for a while.
Yeah, I kind of wish I had other plans that I just couldn't get out of. That was tough.
Yeah, I bet.
All right, this effing guy again. As we continue on with our stupid news report, we've finally reached the end of this story. All right, the guy who stole $1 million worth of jewelry from a jewelry store a while back, and he swallowed some of it, right? Do you remember that guy?
Of course.
Yep.
Yeah.
The cops have been waiting for days and days for him to fart out the evidence, but the dude's been holding it in. He refused to make potty for the cops. Well, he finally let her buck. He's only human. He couldn't pinch it back any longer. After waiting by his jail cell for 12 days, the cops finally got Dinkus to fill an ice cream bucket with feces. And now they finally have their hands on the remaining jewels that he had swallowed. 12 days, sitting there with a bucket waiting for it to happen. Dude finally dropped $770,000 worth of earrings out his ass with this highly anticipated bowel movement.
Can you imagine 12 days?
Mm-hmm. Well, my record is 6 when I was in the hospital as a 14-year-old kid. I told that story recently where I refused to use the bedpan, so I held it for 6 days. So, dude finally let it ride, and they got the jewels back. One cop, a new guy, I'm sure, he was the guy on watch with that dumbass crook waiting for those turds to drop. That cop said, after the diamonds were expelled from his system, we were able to bring them back to the jewelry shop where they were cleaned, and now I can move on with my miserable life, he said.
I wonder if you get a discount on those things. Probably not, right?
Oh, the old poop diamond?
Yeah.
Would you have to disclose that to the person you're giving it to, that it's a poop diamond?
I don't know.
think so.
I wonder how that works.
All right,
remember,
Ashley.
one of my favorite parts of that story was that he pretended he either was a player on the Orlando Magic or some sort of employee of the organization.
Yeah, they let him right in. Ashley, would you wear a pair of diamond earrings? How do you say that, Josh?
Earrings?
Would you wear a pair of diamond earrings that Kendall Jenner pooped out?
Sure.
Did I get the right name?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would?
Yeah, if they're washed.
You really like Kendall Jenner.
I was more focused on the diamonds.
Oh,
Yeah, I bet she'd have some nice diamonds, that Kendall Jenner.
She probably eats, if what she posts online is correct, she eats very clean.
well, isn't
So they would be sloppy diamonds?
Yeah.
Stop that. So you're convinced that her poop is better than yours?
Probably, yeah.
This crook now feeling much lighter. He remains in custody. And he just landed an NIL deal with Dude Wipes.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
He's making a lot, which is the way to go if you're a grown person. Dude Wipes. I use them every day.
I heard you're not supposed to flush them, though. Is that true?
No, you don't flush them.
Okay.
Well,
Never used a dude wipe.
oh, it's wonderful. Any kind of baby wipe, dude wipe, I don't know why I acted as if they didn't exist. It was so stupid.
I used them for a little bit. It's not dude wipes, but just like regular ones. It's a nice finisher.
Oh, God help us, yes. Dana, I have the flushable types, but I still don't flush them.
You don't trust it?
No. I don't need plumbers coming over and choking me to death. Josh, it was a friend of mine maybe 10 years ago or so when we were at BIR, and of course, it's Saturday morning, and it's an endless parade to the filthy portable toilets, right? Mm-hmm. And, I tucked a roll of toilet paper under my arm. It's my turn. And my buddy, who was in line behind me, said, what are you, a rookie or something? And I said, what are you talking about? He said, toilet paper? And I said, well, yeah, what do you want me to use, my shirt? And he said, dude, baby wipes. Don't you know? And I made the mistake of thinking, well, they're baby wipes. They're just for babies. I went down that route for a while, and I thought, why have I been... It was unbelievable, the difference that they make. And then I've graduated now to dude wipes. So regular toilet paper, sure. The two of us get together now and again. But those wipes...
Oh, so you're exclusive dude wipes.
No. Once in a while, sometimes I'll use both.
See, for me, that would just be like the encore. That's the finishing move.
Sure.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with
The main
that.
event.
Nothing wrong with that.
Here's one piece of advice, though. If you're ever in a pinch, don't use a Clorox wipe.
Come on.
You've done that?
Yeah.
Dude, no.
I was in a pinch. It was literally the only thing that was in the bathroom at the time.
You weren't wearing socks?
Yeah, I'd go sock before I do that.
Come on. You didn't put a Clorox wipe on your beehole.
I was in the process of moving. It was literally the only thing left in the bathroom.
Nah, I just wouldn't have done anything.
That'll kill a guy.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, I think I'd just be messy for a bit and find a different bathroom. Sewer Repair Jesus in all caps and many, many, many exclamation points says, don't flush wipes. He repairs sewers. He knows.
No. Trust me. I don't. Never, ever, ever, ever. All right, real quick. We were just talking a day or two ago about grown folks acting like maniacs when it comes to Pokemon cards and this and that, trading cards that I thought were meant for kids. Then again, I thought that baby wipes were just for babies. But anyway, adults are strangling each other to death in the streets over trading cards. And now we got this prick to deal with, a feller from the state of Virginia who dressed up like Spider-Man, the superhero, don't you know? And then he upped and snatched $10,000 worth of something called anime trading cards.
I love that he dressed like Spider.
He was in a Spider-Man costume. 20-year-old kid by the name of Joel something or another. He broke right on into a collectibles store when nobody was around. He ran off with a stack of valuable trading cards. He was wearing a Spider-Man outfit. The cops say he scouted the store ahead of time. He wanted cards related to the following: Dragon Balls, One Piece, and Pokemon. So again, folks who are involved in this effing card trading gimmick say that rare cards can be worth thousands of dollars if they're in good enough condition. This kid, he didn't get far. Somebody tipped off the cops, and he was arrested. It says here, stores have been overwhelmed by the sheer chaos customers cause while trying to snag these cards. There have been parking lot fights, unmerciful beatings, lightsaber duels, molestations. There have been molestations.
Oh, no.
Spells have been cast, curses.
If I saw a guy buying those cards or stealing those cards dressed as Spider-Man, and like I'm a cop just looking at the surveillance footage, I would laugh so hard I'd poop my pants and then disinfect my anus with Clorox. By the way, we have a differing opinion on those wipes.
What?
This person says flush those wipes because it's called job security from chugged up plumber Jesus.
I'm not going to do it. Cubby's 50th birthday special edition special show continues next.
93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
I wouldn't have sex with you if I was starving and your wiener was a ham sandwich.
93X rocks.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
I've never really had any problems getting around the bases.
Daxie and I play shortstop and second base. We're a great DP combo.
How are you at the plate? See, we prefer to play on AstroTurf around here because we love a good sliding box.
You should bronze those because your bus belongs in Cooperstown. Your 12-6 curves are making me go from 6 to 12.
Why don't you groove me some two-finger heaters down low?
I am gonna hit a scorching comebacker right to your mound.
Sing it, everybody. Take me out to the
All game.
some bitch. This and that. You know who should be helping out Glenn Perkins and Corey Provis calling Twins games this baseball season? Flula.
Oh, that'd be great.
Are we going to hear from Flula a little bit later, his take on baseball?
We are, yes.
Okay.
Flula is going to start Randy Shaver.
The ratings would go crazy. I mean, I know a lot of folks watch baseball. I don't think they have any troubles over there. I still, by 3 o'clock today, I have to figure out how to watch a Twins game. I still haven't looked into that.
Will you let the rest of us know when you find out?
Well, I read an article yesterday saying the Twins promise by opening pitch they'll tell you how to watch the game. I mean, that's how down to the wire it is.
As big of a fan as I am, I apologize if this offends anybody, but I didn't follow that Twins television scandal at all. I just didn't.
Right.
I'm just not the type to get involved in articles like that, conversations like that. Just I'm a wake me when it's over type of a guy. Just tell me what channel it's on, I'll watch it.
I think I got to figure it out.
But yeah, I still don't know how to watch today's game. So I'll have to do some homework.
At this point, I think the easiest way to watch it is you get in your car, you go to the airport, you fly to St. Louis, and you buy a ticket to the game.
Yeah, probably.
That might be the easiest way right now.
We're going on our first ever, outside of Wisconsin, out-of-state family vacation to watch the Twins. And that's the only time I know I will be able to see them.
Yeah, but I'm still excited about today. It's the opener. And be listening at 7:30 for the intro to Randy Shaver's appearance on the show, so you can hear German comic Flula and his take on baseball. I swear to God, if they hired him with Glenn Perkins and Corey Provis, my damn, it would be the greatest baseball broadcast you've ever seen.
And it'd be perfect for those that don't know baseball, because Flula doesn't know baseball. He'll ask questions maybe you have yourself.
Yeah, he doesn't really get it.
No, he doesn't understand.
Because he's
not
German.
from here.
The only German to ever understand baseball was Max Kepler. Golden Gopher hockey, big game tonight. The NCAA tournament begins tonight. They face Massachusetts, whoever they are, and they're in a tough bracket. That game is tonight. We'll tell you more in a little while. Pigs Capitals tonight. Of course, Ovechkin is in town. And the NCAA men's basketball tournament kicks back in. Now they're down to 16 teams. Real quick before we go, and we'll be back here shortly because it's Cubby's 50th birthday special edition special show, and he's got the news coming up. But before we go, we were talking about our dogs and the things that they eat when you have your back turned. This was one of my favorites. By the way, Josh, Hot Mom Sheezes texted in to wish you a happy birthday and referred to you as sexy.
Oh, my gosh. Stop.
But here we have a text from Call Mama Bear Sheezes on something that her dog ate. This is my favorite. She said her Labrador ate the steel drip pan off the barbecue grill.
I could see the appeal.
Oh, yeah. All of the drippings from all of the... My God. She ate the steel drip pan off the bottom of the Bydam barbecue. We'll be back in a few minutes with Josh's news report.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show.
Hey, you beautiful podcast listeners. Seriously, you folks are the best. We don't tell you that enough, but you are. And we couldn't do this without you, and we couldn't have a podcast if it weren't for our friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Right now, you can save up to $7,500 on a mini-split ductless system or a high-efficiency heat pump combo with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. I know those are some fancy terms, but what it really means is they're going to make sure you're comfortable in your own house. And get this, they even take care of that rebate paperwork for you. Visit standardheating.com to lock in your deal and enjoy the show. And seriously, you guys are the best.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Hi, I'm Joe Salciha, host of the Stacking Benjamin Show. We are diving into what should be in your little emergency go bag. What goes into your financial go bag?
Passport, driver's license, social security card.
Cash, credit cards, my wallet.
The most important thing, your master password.
OG just gave us the guns. That's all he needs.
Meaning the bicep.
Come and get them.
You never knew personal finance could be this fun. What's a big can of Colt 45 cost?
Stackers Anonymous. Is that about $3.50?
That's what
Dr. Pepper.
Like go bag. Stacking Benjamins. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
By the way, I faked every orgasm.
93X.
Half-assed morning show.
I did receive one saying that I had a toll.
Oh,
is that what you're talking about?
That's the one, yeah.
Oh, Durr.
Oh, Durr.
I love that lady.
Me too. That's as Minnesotan as you can get. If you've ever gotten a sketchy text claiming you owe money for unpaid Easy Pass tolls, you're definitely not alone. The Easy Pass text scam, it's making headlines again. We just talked about it. Second time in just a few months. As more Minnesotans fall victim to these fake messages.
The trouble is, it is the World Wide Web. It is not the Minnesota web. So we have people from anywhere on the planet trying to scam us. And they'll take advantage of Minnesota nice.
Like credit card fees, Milli Vanilli, the Fire Festival, and timeshares, the texts are complete scams. Cybersecurity experts believe the numbers are likely spoofed. Scammers are able to send out thousands of texts at little or no cost, which makes this type of fraud especially common and hard to contain.
They are sending it to every single 612-763 and 952 phone number, knowing a good percentage are cell phones that can receive text messages, and the ones that aren't are just a throwaway.
I probably get about 4 a week still. Clicking the link in...
How much do you owe them?
It's a lot of money, and I never even go on one of those lanes.
I know.
I don't know how it works. Clicking on the link in one of the messages can lead to stolen personal information, drained bank accounts, or both. Cybersecurity experts strongly advise deleting the text immediately and avoiding that link entirely.
Yeah, I get a lot of those. I'm trying to think what the other scams try to convince me, what company they claim to be from. I delete them right away as well. So I was just going to look in my phone and look at the history, but I think I've deleted all of them as well. It gets to be a pain in the ass.
I've gotten calls from the mortgage company. I'm calling from the mortgage company.
Oh, okay. One of them, now I remember, one of them claims to be a collector.
Oh, yeah, collectors.
A collection agency, and I owe money for something.
I won a cruise once.
Did you?
Yep.
Where were you headed?
It didn't say. I had to call back.
Yeah, I don't delete my text messages. It's really out of hand, but I have one right here, and it says, you will be penalized or subject to legal action if I don't pay it. So, no.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
A 21-year-old man, furious with his father, drove his dad's car straight into the ocean. The man's dad let him borrow the car, but the son never brought it back. According to police, about 1:15 a.m., the son drove the car to the beach with the apparent goal of sinking it. He initially tried to wedge a cinder block to the gas pedal, but it kept getting caught on the brake. Dang. So he improvised. He ditched the block, hopped into the driver's seat, turned on all the lights, made sure no one was around, and then drove full speed into the ocean. He and Dad were having problems.
Man.
According to the arrest report, the man told police as he plowed into the waves, he grinned and wished he could have flipped off both his dad and his aunt for some reason in the process. Afterward, he casually left the scene and ran to his mom's house, where police later tracked him down using a ping from his phone, thanks to his father. Now he's facing a felony criminal mischief charge, and his dad said he is going to press charges. This kid's been in trouble a few times. I'd read the dad he'd written the court a few times as well, saying, hey, we're doing our best here. Hopefully he'll learn his lesson, but he has not been able to learn that lesson.
Did you grow up with any buddies who just, your pal and his dad just couldn't get along for dick?
No, I never really did.
I had a couple of them, and one of them was legitimately just awful, violent between the two of them. But the other one, it was just so silly. I mean, it was just your typical cliche father and son, grown person clashing with teenager type stuff. But my pal, the big step he took in their rivalry was when he took bleach, I believe it was bleach, and he went out into the yard and burned F.U. Dad into the lawn.
Jeez. That's intense.
God, I thought that was... I still
love that he didn't care that he was obviously going to get caught. He wanted Dad to know.
It was just so silly.
It was an F.U. dude or F.U. guy.
Yeah.
He specifically showed his relationship to the man.
Yeah, there was no attempt to hide it. I mean, that was the point of the bit, was letting the old man know, okay, your turn.
Visitors at a popular family swimming lagoon on Australia's Gold Coast got a whole lot more than sunshine and sea views this week when a couple decided it was the perfect time and place for some beachside boinking. Around 1:30 p.m., as kids fed pelicans and families splashed in the water, one couple was spotted getting very handsy in the shallows. The man, undeterred by the crowd, was giving it to his lady friend real good. Then, after the Australian said g'day to her vagina, the Australian rose from her down under, waded out of the water, confronted stunned beachgoers, and began demanding their phones or payment.
Oh, sure.
He stormed up to us shouting that we owed him money for the, quote, performance, one witness said.
Who do you think you are, pal?
He kept yelling that he doesn't do this for free, and people normally pay to see him. Okie dokie. When the group refused, telling the horny Aussie any footage would be handed over to police, he became aggressive. That prompted them to flee to a nearby hotel to call the cops.
This guy's got an attitude.
Yeah. Hey, that's not for free, right. But I just allowed you to witness.
Weren't they on you said a public beach?
Yeah, and it's a very popular beach to feed pelicans, I guess. And so there's plenty of families there doing just that, and he decided to put on a show, but not for free. Authorities are investigating that incident.
Oh, for Christ's sake. Now you think I owe you money, huh?
I wish I had that confidence, what a douche.
He must have really been pinballing back and forth then if he thought that folks owed him money.
I think so. He put on a show.
What was the finish like?
Yeah, they didn't get too detailed on it, but there is video out there somewhere. A 31-year-old Florida woman's back behind bars after police say she launched a blood pressure machine at her boyfriend's 69-year-old ex-wife. Cops say the woman tailed the ex all the way to her boyfriend's house, then followed her inside. And that's where she became Florida woman. According to the report, she chucked a hard plastic blood pressure monitor straight at the older woman's head, leaving her bruised, and then shoved her to the ground while reportedly shouting, "I'm going to beat your ass today."
No.
When officers showed up, she claimed she never got physical, but the blood pressure machine lying on the floor and a witness backing it up told a different story. The 31-year-old seems to have impulse control issues. She was already out on felony bond for previous charges, including attacking a public employee and causing a disturbance at a school.
Yeah.
That's a wild one right there.
Yeah.
Police say 39-year-old Luther Madison and his wife, Angelica, also 39, became furious when the parents of their son's girlfriend voiced concerns that their daughter was too young to be dating their son. During a March 17th meeting, the girl's parents asked the Madisons to help keep the teens apart, but instead of cooperating, the Madisons lost it. According to authorities, Angelica had a handgun tucked in her pocket. She handed it to her husband, Luther, who then shot the other father in the chest. Then he reportedly aimed the weapon at the victim's wife next, threatening to shoot her as well. Both Luther and Angelica Madison were arrested on the spot, currently facing serious charges, due back in court this May.
So they're one of those couples where you can't question their child in any way or they go nuclear?
It certainly appears that way, yeah.
And the conversation was, maybe these kids are a little too young to date.
And it sounds like the parents of the daughter were very cordial, just saying, yeah, I think your son's a little too old. I mean, the fact that they got together and showed that respect.
Yeah.
They didn't confront them.
They're
it was
out
just
there.
They tried to have a conversation.
They're out there. One sideways word about somebody's child. Yeah, it's just, my parents never gave two pumps what anybody said about me because 99% of it was friggin' true. Jesus, don't be so sensitive.
When a babysitter put the kids to bed near Grand Bend, Kansas, about 10:30 p.m. Monday, one of them said a monster was under their bed. It's common. Kids say that. The babysitter, hoping to comfort the child by showing them there's nothing, looked under the bed, and the kid was right. Staring back at her from beneath the bed was a 27-year-old man. After coming face to face with the monster, she went fist to face to fight to protect the children. During the struggle, both she and one of the kids were knocked over as the man fled before deputies could get there. He was later identified as someone who once lived in that house.
Oh, no.
Wasn't supposed to be anywhere near it due to a protection order banning him from the property.
I used to live here. One of those types.
Cops searched the area through the night. The next morning, the man was spotted near the home again. After a short chase, he was taken into custody. Can you imagine that?
That's creepy.
That is so awful. I don't like to look under my bed still. Like, especially if it's the middle of the night. I don't know, it just scarred from childhood, maybe? Just so afraid something's going to be there?
I have a female friend who jumps into bed for that reason. She's afraid somebody's going to grab her ankle or something.
Yeah,
and she's an adult.
I don't like hanging my feet over the bed either. No. They got to be in the protection of the blanket.
Just days after a Virginia school went into lockdown over a reported weapon on campus, the school is making headlines again, this time for a bizarre security breach. About 7:30 Tuesday morning, police say an adult managed to slip into the building by tailing students through the entrance of Bayside High School.
Hello, and thank you for calling Bayside High. For office hours and directions, press 1. To speak with Mr. Belding, press 2. And to talk to Screech, don't press anything, because it's me!
Screech!
There he was. What's he doing answering the phones over there at the school?
I guess he's obsessed with Bayside High School still. Once inside, the man took off his shirt for some reason. No weapons were found.
What do you mean for some reason?
Yeah, they don't know why. No weapons were found. The school didn't go into lockdown. Screech was nowhere to be seen. And the school resource officer took the topless intruder into custody shortly after he got inside.
We're told by Virginia Beach police that no threats were made to the school and that they're still working to learn if this person was potentially intoxicated or under the influence of anything.
Oh, I'd say that's a good guess. The odd episode comes less than a week after a much more serious scare at Bayside. The school was locked down following reports of a knife on campus.
Zoinks!
In that incident, a 14-year-old girl and a 15-year-old boy were taken into custody.
If you're looking for Screech, don't press anything because it's me, he said. That's why that guy got paid the big bucks.
A group of quick-thinking students in Crow Wing County gained some serious aura after their 74-year-old school bus driver suffered a medical emergency on the way home from their school. The bus was supposed to head to a transfer stop Tuesday afternoon, but the fourth graders noticed it wasn't following the usual route. Sensing something was wrong, they sprang into action, grabbing the radio and calling for help, alerting authorities just in time.
We're very fortunate with these kids that
took it upon themselves to take action. They did recognize that there was something going wrong with their bus driver.
Fortunately, the driver was able to bring the bus to a stop and get all 30 students safely off the bus before emergency responders arrived on scene.
Got there shortly after the bus had come to a stop just south of our Brainerd area here. We made immediate contact with the driver, and it was readily apparent that he was definitely in medical distress.
The driver was taken to the hospital and last reported in serious condition.
Oh, for God's sake.
Sounds like he's in rough shape.
Ah.
Let's see here. Skippy.
I like Skippy peanut butter.
Let's do this one. A woman was behind bars Monday after a detective arrested her at Miami International for a joke that bombed. The 55-year-old swimming instructor was in line at MIA Sunday when she said she had a bomb in her bag. Giggle, giggle. A detective pulled the comedian from the line, detained her, and separated her 3 bags before questioning her. "I was only joking," she told the detective. Deputies didn't find a bomb in her bag or the humor in her joke, but she found herself in handcuffs for confessing to the false report, a second-degree felony.
Well,
LOL.
that sucks. I don't even like to say, because you guys know that I like to drop, like, oh, that's bomb sometimes. And I have to clean that up whenever I go out in like big air, like the airport, or if I go to like the Mall of America, because I don't want someone to overhear just the word bomb and look at me like I've got something going on.
I understand. Nick and I have told this story before, but we were traveling with a gentleman who thought that was really, really funny to make bomb jokes and kept doing it even though we told him, dude, you're going to get shot on the spot here.
You were trying to talk him out of it. I didn't stop him at all in hopes that he would be arrested and we wouldn't have to hang out with him anymore.
I mean, honestly, he just would not listen to reason. I'm telling him, dude, what are you doing?
He was an idiot.
Yeah, he thought he was funny.
Nick's egging him on. No, these are great. Keep them coming.
I never said a word.
Go tell that guy that joke. The guy over there that's with the dog.
Now streaming on Prime Video, Holland, a mystery thriller starring Nicole Kidman. A teacher in a small Midwestern town suspects her husband of living a double life, but things may be worse than she initially imagined. On Prime Video, the 3rd season finale of Reacher, and today brings the streaming premiere of A Complete Unknown on Hulu. 93X Holiday Station Stores and Red Wing Shoes want to give you free gas for a year. Listen for your keyword at 9 a.m. and then again at 3 p.m. weekdays for a shot at that $93 in free gas. Plus, everyone who wins then qualifies for the grand prize, free gas for a year. For more info, log on to 93x.com and then click on the free gas icon. The Fergalicious Fergie is 50 today.
Are you aware of all these celebrities who share a birthday with you?
Just a couple.
Just a couple of them.
The foot-fetishist Quentin Tarantino, 62. Happy anniversary to narcissistic sociopath Jesus, 2 weeks dating, 3 months engaged, now 21 years married. From Taste the Golden Spray Jesus.
What the hell?
I don't know.
That's terrible.
It could be innocent. It could
no,
be
it couldn't
awful.
be innocent.
It was so sweet until it wasn't.
That's how a lot of those are, right? I love that. Sometimes it's the most beautiful text followed by the most foul Jesus name or Jesus name. Happy birthday to MBE, Dump Truckin' Jesus, Liquid Steel Jesus. Happy 28th to Zach. Happy birthday, Long Arm of the Law Jesus. It's all not okay in Cloquet Jesus and his twin brother Mike. Happy birthdays to you. Another double happy birthday to Metal Hand Finishing Jesus and his dog Spike. And happy birthday to the rapid snap coiling of the penis Jesus from our old pal Jordan Parisi, who texted in this morning.
What?
And that's 93X News.
A live turtle in his pants.
Yes.
That's a lot to pack in your pants.
Randy Shaver on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Watching now a little bit your baseball here in America. This game is the most confused game of that I'm knowing. We have some pillows on the dirt. Then man with stick is there. Then man look at stick man and look at man with glove. Boom. He throw a ball to the stick man. And the stick man may hit if he make a miss of 3 times then out. But if 4 times the throw is bad, boom, then he may walk to a pillow. Sometimes someone is stealing the pillows. But time out. After 7 times of run on field, everyone sing a song about popcorn.
Hey, Randy Shaver.
I've never heard baseball described so beautifully.
He's very confused about it.
He's getting the hang of it.
Flula Borg, is that the full name?
Yep.
He's a comic. He's German. He's just getting used to baseball.
Very funny.
This is the guy who sang us the song about the German Moses.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
sports.
Flula. I said earlier, if Flula joined Glenn Perkins and Corey Provis for every Twins broadcast, whatever channel they're on this year, I mean, my God, will we be having a riot. Randy, welcome to Cubby's 50th birthday special edition special show.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
My life partner has gone ahead and turned 50.
When we first met, Randy, you, me, and Nick, way back in the day, did you ever think
remember.
You'd still be working with us when we were 50?
Hell no.
At the time, Josh was probably, I don't know, what would you say you were, a 23, 24-year-old?
Yeah,
so
just
that
about
would have
24.
made me 27, 8. Randy would have been in his early 50s. And,
I was in the early 50s.
You can't even remember 50.
You know what? I can remember 50. I certainly can. It's a milestone.
Yeah, it's a big one. She's a keeper, Josh. You only get one turn at this.
That's what people have been telling me.
A lot of text messages have come in from our listeners wishing Cubby a happy birthday.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
really
very
appreciate that.
Special day. It's a very busy day. You don't want us to dwell any further on your birthday.
No, that's good right there. I was hoping you wouldn't bring it up at this point, but thank you so much for the text. It means a lot. If I don't get back to you, I definitely still appreciate it. It's just been kind of a busy day.
Oh, it's been busy.
Thank you so much.
It's certainly. I love it when Flula says, baseball is the most confused game of that I am knowing. The opener, huh, Randy?
This is it. Here we go. I saw that the betting line for the White Sox for wins and losses is 53.5. That's the lowest ever. Lowest ever line to start a baseball season.
It's the White Sox and the Colorado Rockies, I think, are the two teams.
Yes.
In the cellar when it comes to that over/under wins on the season. So what did the White Sox reach last year?
I think they were at 40 wins. They lost 121. I think. Yeah.
Nice to have them in the Twins division.
Yes, it is.
Just too bad it's not like the old days where they seem to play them 30 times a season.
Yeah.
The schedule's a little more balanced now.
Now everybody plays everybody.
That would make a difference for sure.
I'm not mistaken by that. Last season,
that's correct,
was their first time with this everybody plays everybody gimmick. Yeah, in the old days, Jesus, how many times did they play the Royals?
I think they played like 16, something like that. That's a crazy number.
20 and 25 version of the Minnesota Twins open their season this afternoon in St. Louis, Missouri. Today.
Actually, think about it, Nick, for a second.
Yes.
There was a time when you never played the National League at all.
Right. Right.
During the regular season.
No, not at all.
When you think about that.
Up until, 1995, I think, was when interleague play began?
Something like that. But, I mean, it's been a long time where they played just in the American League. And when there were fewer teams.
Right.
I mean, you were playing some of those teams 18 times a year.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't interleague play one of those things that after the strike shortened season that they kind of threw out as a way to kind of get people back to the ballpark a little bit?
It was.
I believe
excitement
so.
Going.
And that's why my guess is 95, because 94 there was no World Series because of the strike. Oh, I mean, and, back in the day when the Twins only played American League opponents and mainly faced their divisional opponents.
Right.
That's what made the All-Star game so special to me. That's what made watching This Week in Baseball so special to me, was finding out more about the National League players and teams. I would watch This Week in Baseball, and they'd say, and now let's turn to the National League. And I'd say, who are these guys? Now you see everybody. I'm not saying there's anything right or wrong with the way they do it now, but it was a little more of a special thing when I was a kid, the All-Star game and watching programs like This Week in Baseball.
And that's because there was not a lot of television for all the teams. You rarely, there was no ESPN, there was no highlight package of of other games and teams. And so you rarely saw those guys in person. The only way you really kept track was in the newspaper and reading the box scores.
Right.
That's really how you kept track.
Today is the first of a 3-game series with the Cardinals. You want to keep hitting the switch on the Wayback Machine. You know how much I hate that. But that was sarcasm. Where's my sarcasm? I always liked it when the American League clubs would play in the NL ballpark so we could watch the terrible American League pitchers try and hit.
I love that too.
That was fun.
We don't get that opportunity anymore.
Why did they stop that? Just injuries?
Yeah, just balance for both leagues to be on the same page. Yeah.
There were a lot of people.
I used to love that.
Yeah, a lot of people who said, why are we wasting at-bats by watching an American League pitcher look like a 9-year-old when we could put somebody in the lineup that could rake a few down the left field line, you know?
You could just see some of those guys walk up there. They had no intention of even taking the bat off their shoulder.
Let's remember to ask Glenn Perkins about this when we talk to him next week, because I believe he has a couple of good stories of hitting as an American League pitcher in National League ballparks. If I remember correctly, he did not have a hell of a lot of skills in that department, but I could be wrong. First pitch is at 3:15 today. The newspaper says the game can be seen on something called Twins TV. We were joking around earlier about how the majority of us here on our morning program, here we are on opening day, and none of us are completely sure how to see today's game, but we'll figure it out. We're grown people.
I actually have that, and I got it for free.
You got Twins TV for free?
Yeah, there was a really cool promotion going on if you own T-Mobile. They do this thing called T-Mobile Tuesdays, and it has like coupons and all that kind of stuff. And so I was able to get it for free. It's really cool. Maybe it'll happen again.
So you watch that on your phone?
Yeah, and I believe that I can cast it to my TV as well, but I'll have to check that.
Okay.
I'll figure it out by 3. We'll get it
I still think they're going to try and figure out a way to get it so that everybody has better access to it.
Well, what was the statement? Here's the statement that Josh mentioned earlier, and I have it in front of me. The Minnesota Twins are headed into a new era with Twins TV, and cable providers promised to be on board by first pitch. So what does that exactly mean?
That's so good.
Cable providers right now are rigging up lines and whatnot to try to get this to work by 3 o'clock?
Or they'll let us know how it's going to work before the first pitch.
Yeah. It's funny that I have not looked into it until today, but I always trust that it'll work out, I guess. The pitching matchup is always fun on opening day. Pablo Lopez for the Twins.
Great pitchers all across the board today.
You mentioned yesterday Sonny Gray's pitching for the Cardinals.
Yeah.
So Glenn Perkins, 2 days ago, told us he's confident that this ball club has everything they need to win their division. They just got to go out there and get it done.
Yeah. I would say that their biggest competition is going to be the Tigers. I think the Tigers have put together a really good team. They've got some, outstanding pitching, obviously. But their everyday lineup is pretty solid. The Twins right now, injuries for the Twins are going to be the real key.
Oh, without a doubt.
There's just no question that, we already have seen a little bit of a fall off with,
Brock,
Stewart out and Tonkin and Brooks Lee.
Sorry.
But imagine if Correa or Buxton go down with this lineup. It just, you look around the league and I'm sure that everybody has injury issues and concerns, but I think the Twins, more than any team in this division, really needs to be healthy in order to be able to compete.
Yeah,
the Tigers, to me, are the team to beat in the division.
Whatever team Tariq Skubal is playing on is your team to beat. You have such a love affair with this kid. Here's a comment from a national website, I don't know who, and it doesn't matter, on the Twins' upcoming season. And it's more or less echoing what we were just discussing. It says the Twins are the most talented team in the American League Central when at full health. But how often are they at full health?
Yeah.
The article says Minnesota's top players are underrated, but unfortunately, their availability is often an issue. That says it all.
Yeah, I think the division is going to be better than what people think it will be. I think Cleveland is interesting. They've retooled a few things. Kansas City has some really solid pitching.
Yeah.
It's just that I'm just not sure that their everyday lineup, besides Bobby Witt, is enough to put them in first place in this division.
Did Salvador Perez retire?
Nope, he's still playing.
Oh, my God.
And he's going to catch and play first base for him.
All right.
Mostly catch. But they've got a pretty solid team. I mean, the division is, other than the White Sox, the division is pretty solid across the board. So it's certainly not going to be a cakewalk by any stretch.
Lube Salesman Jesus texted in. We were talking about the old days when American League pitchers would try to hit when they played at National League ballparks. Now, of course, we all know that just because you're a major league pitcher doesn't mean you have no experience hitting. Many of them hit.
Right. They grew up playing.
Yeah, they grew up, of course,
Yeah.
and they hit in college. It's just a fact that once they stop practicing hitting, they look pretty foolish out there. Because how often did an American League pitcher take batting practice? Maybe a day or two before they go.
That's correct.
So that they're out of practice. But Lube Salesman Jesus, interesting story. He said, during COVID, I went to the Joe Mauer celebrity softball game, talking about pitchers hitting and things like that. He said Joe Nathan was cranking piss missiles into the upper deck, and Jim Thome didn't hit a single home run. So that's great. I mean, obviously, wasn't Joe Nathan a shortstop even in college?
I think he played a position, yes.
Yeah, so, I mean, he knew, and especially when you see these guys go after, it is interesting. I have seen big league hitters try to hit a slow pitch softball, and they're friggin' hopeless. Mm-hmm. It's all very interesting. It's what you're used to, what you practice, your routine, and all that.
It infuriates me every time I talk about this with my fiance about softball versus baseball or whatever we're talking about.
Softball versus baseball.
And he's like, it's just so much easier, though. The ball is bigger. And I'm like, it doesn't just come down to the stupid freaking ball size, man.
I got in the batter's box.
No.
Nothing comes down to.
Oh, no.
I know.
Oh, boy.
There are a few things, Ashley, that do come down to ball
Yes,
size.
there are.
It can make a difference.
Like a biggest balls contest. That is completely dependent. That's completely dependent on ball size.
And I've also noticed that even if the balls are about the same size, with years upon years, gravity affects them differently.
And oftentimes one is bigger than the other.
Oh, man.
All right. Google. You heard of it, Randy?
Yeah, just the other day.
They took a look at the top baseball questions and ballpark foods Americans have been searching for as we're heading into this brand new baseball season. The baseball questions and ballpark foods. They posted a map of the top ballpark food each state's been Googling the past week. We don't need to get into the details, but here's what people are searching. Ballpark beer, brats, corn dogs, fries, nachos, burgers, pizza, pretzels, and pulled pork. I'm pretty basic when I go to the ball game.
Yeah.
Wiener in my mouth.
Yep.
Beer, peanuts.
Yeah.
I tried that.
The best.
That steak sandwich year one of Target Field. Remember that was like the big thing.
Yes, I tried that.
Oh yeah, I think we did together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very good.
Every once in a while I'll try something, but usually it's just Wienerski, peanuts, cold beer.
Yeah.
I'm good to go.
I'll try some nachos, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm with you. It's pretty basic for me too.
The plastic tray of nachos, or do you go for the full helmet?
I love the helmet.
Yeah, that thing is fun.
You have to
That's
get
even
the
fun
helmet.
as an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
I
you
love the
ever
helmet.
get a chance, or if you're craving something other than the basic stuff, the Truly on Deck there at the Twin Stadium, those are amazing. The food that they got going on, they have fantastic chefs back there.
Oh, is that thing up in right field, Ashley?
Yes.
That's what that's called?
Yep.
Truly Deck?
I was always excited as a I didn't go to any major league games when I was growing up. We just didn't do that.
That's because you're an Iowegian.
Right. But as a young adult working in town, when the Twins had that ice cream in the helmet
Helmet
deal.
Sunday.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
Have you seen it
I
lately?
loved keeping the helmet. It was the weirdest thing, but I loved keeping that stupid helmet.
I have so many of those.
I understand. They used to be about hand-sized, They are a full-size helmet at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my gosh.
Gigantic.
I haven't noticed.
You haven't seen one of those? Same with the nachos, it's huge.
They modeled the helmets after Barry Bonds' helmet when his head was 9 sizes bigger on steroids. That's the size of ice cream sundae you get these days.
Yeah, I couldn't believe the helmet sundae. You can get a giant one.
Here are the top 5 baseball questions that people have been Googling in preparation for this season. Now, these are people who must not follow the game terribly closely, but they're curious. Randy, maybe you can help out.
Sure.
When you're scoring a baseball game, what does PO mean?
Put out.
That's short for put out. If you record an out by catching a ball, tagging a runner, or stepping on a base, it's a put out.
Put out.
How much does a minor league player make? Is the next question that people were Googling. And this is not good news. If you're a minor leaguer.
No, they don't make a lot of money. I'm going to guess $85,000.
Dude, if there's any minor league baseball players listening right now, they want you to be the commissioner of their league. $20,000 to $35,000 a year, depending on the league they're in.
Yeah.
It used to be less. They got a raise 2 years ago. How heavy is a baseball? I would have no idea.
That's a good
ounces,
question.
right?
It's ounces.
I don't know, 10 ounces?
It's less than 5.
Less than 5.
It feels heavier than that, but I'm not good at estimating weight or age, which kept me sexually active when I was at St. Cloud State. What does OPS mean?
On I don't know. I just know it's good. The higher the number, the better.
On base plus slugging.
Oh, on base plus slugging.
It combines your on base percentage with your slugging percentage. Basically, how many extra base hits you get.
That's the number I look at when I'm searching for players to make a change on my fantasy team. I always look at OPS because that tells you the percentage of them getting on base.
How long are baseball games these days?
2 hours and 15 minutes.
Well, it says 9 innings.
Too short.
It says here the pitch clock, ever since the pitch clock kicked in, they're down on average to 2 hours and 36 minutes. That was 34 minutes faster than it used to be.
Yeah, that's good.
Now, what were you saying about ball size again, Ashley?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
A listener texted in and said, ask AC/DC if ball size matters. That's still, to this day, how many years ago did they write Big Balls?
40.
It was in the mid to late 70s. Still one of the most clever songs ever. Big Balls, AC/DC.
I also saw people were asking how long a single Major League Baseball lasts in a game, and it was 6 or 7 pitches.
Yeah. There are stories of a Major League game where they used maybe one ball back in the day.
Yeah.
Right? Not now, but imagine that, being able to use one baseball, because they'd hit a foul ball, they'd throw it back. Mm-hmm. They'd still play with the same ball. So
I'm upper class high society, Bon Scott said. God's gift to ballroom notoriety. I always fill my ballroom. The event is never small. The social pages say I've got the biggest balls of all. I remember one of my best friends growing up, his mother took that cassette tape away from him because he was listening. To Big Balls by AC/DC. The Tampa Bay Rays and Oakland Athletics will play this baseball season in minor league parks. I think that's kind of fun.
It's different, for sure.
Neither one of them are terribly happy about their situation, but I think it'll be kind of cool to see big league games at these.
Monster difference, though, between the two. or the Athletics know they're going to end up in Vegas.
Right.
They know that stadium is being built and will be ready in a few years. Tampa doesn't know what their future looks like because they are not going to build them a new ballpark. At least that's what the discussion is in Tampa. There's a decent chance that team could move somewhere else. So two totally different places right now for those two teams.
It'll be kind of fun to see that set up. By the way, Damn Builder Jesus texted in. Did I misspeak or did you mishear? He says the average Major League bat weighs 30-plus ounces. You said it weighs only 5. No, we're talking about the ball.
The ball, yeah.
That would be insane.
Have the Savannah Bananas jumped the shark at this point?
I'm kind of over it.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah, I am too.
I'm not at all, but maybe that's because
the highlights
I really
are
want to see them.
The highlights are fun, but when you see how the ticket buying process to get to a game, you get in a lottery. If you win the lottery, then you got to pay like $300. It's crazy.
Speaking of minor league baseball, I'm just curious. Speaking of minor league baseball, have they jumped the shark? It says here they're getting ready to set sail on something called the Banana Land Sea Cruise.
Cool.
Where you get on a boat with a bunch of minor league baseball players and they sing and dance and they throw bananas at each other. It's.
I just want to see him play a game. Yeah, I'm not too interested in the cruise.
Yeah.
Next February, they'll be getting on a ship called the Norwegian Jewels. We got a lot of those swinging around right now in our listening audience. They go to Cozumel, Mexico. It's a 4-day, fully immersive experience. This is the second time they've done this, I guess. They want $1,500 to get on a boat with them.
Yeah, it's a little crazy.
Jeez. That is a lot.
And I like this part. There is an exterior. Okay. Rates begin at $1,500 per person for an interior cabin, they call it. What does that mean? There's an exterior cabin where
there's probably an ocean view.
Yeah.
This is probably not an ocean view.
Oh.
Yeah, the interior is down
Oh.
below.
Yeah, you don't have the view of the
I thought
ocean.
maybe I was sleeping on a deck chair out by the pool.
I'd last 7 seconds in an interior cabin of a cruise ship like that. Way too claustrophobic.
Where you can't, there's no window to look out onto the water.
Right.
Oh. Well, I don't know anything about the sea. I certainly don't. There is a minor league baseball team that had to remove a logo from their website because it looked too damn much like a vagina.
Yeah, it did.
Your thoughts on things that look like vaginas, Randy Shaver? And you better not say that I look like a vagina.
I'm not going there on Josh's birthday. I'm not going to ruin Josh's birthday.
People have already made vagina references to my birthday and what a birthday means. So you can't ruin it.
Oh,
This
I'm not
is
doing
a
that.
Double-A affiliate of the Baltimore Orioles. They're called the Chesapeake Bay Sox, and they have their regular Chesapeake Bay Sox logo. But like we've discussed, these minor league teams will change their name and their logo for a weekend to raise money or just to have laughs and sell merch. The Chesapeake Bay Sox are changing their identity at one point this summer to the Chesapeake Oyster Catchers. And the logo for the oyster catcher looks like, to a lot of people, it looks like a virgina. And the internet pounced on it. So now, the Bay Sox, I think they're still going to go ahead with this gimmick sometime this summer, but they've removed the logo from their website, I think because of complaints. If you look it up, yeah.
Didn't you posted this a while back, didn't you, Ashley?
Yeah, I'll have to move it to the front. But my fiance is so innocent. I showed him the picture, and I was like, what does this look like? And he goes, I don't know. Is that an ear?
No, that's just, we're trained to do that because we think it's a trap.
I was like, wow, man. Look
Exactly.
At you. You're so sweet.
No,
Exactly.
he knew
We are
exactly.
trained to do that.
Yeah. We know enough. We know enough.
We can find this on our website somewhere?
Yeah.
All right. Well, here's the thing. That part of their gimmick was to help women when they become the Chesapeake oyster holes or whatever the hell I said a minute ago. I don't have it in front of me. They will have 10% off all merchandise, and it'll support a nonprofit dedicated to cervical cancer education and advocacy. So the team said, social media brought the jokes. Now let's use that power for good.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. We're down to 16 teams in the NCAA men's basketball tournament. It continues tonight. Here's who's playing. Brigham Young and Alabama. Maryland, Florida, Arizona, Duke, Arkansas, Texas Tech. A little update here, if you don't mind, on our significant other NCAA tournament bracket challenge showdown. All of our significant others filled out a bracket. Things are quite even right now after 2 rounds. But I'll just dump this information out because I don't know if I made it public. As far as the number 1 seeds making it to the Final Four, now there are 6 significant others involved in this tournament. 4 of our 6 significant others picked Duke to go to the Final Four. 3 of 6 picked Houston. 4 of 6 Florida. And 4 of 6 Auburn. As far as the national champion, the winner of the final, 2 of our significant others went with Auburn. 1 Houston, 1 Duke, 1 Clemson. Dana.
Yeah.
You're significant. And 1 St. John's.
Yeah, Randy.
Yeah. Here's the deal, though.
There's a deal?
Well, here's the deal.
Yeah.
And Dana knows this. When you look at the bracket, each time Clemson was supposed to play, that's a loss for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you add those up as you go along. So I already know that I've got X amount of losses coming. It's just I've got to have
your
those.
wife has X amount of losses.
Well, yeah, my wife does. Yeah. But you've got to have those other teams that we pick to advance. Those teams have to advance. That's going to be the key. So
a fan with one of the only perfect women's March Madness brackets forgot to pick a champion.
Oh, no.
No. Oh, that would be awful.
Oh, that's just heartbreaking.
CBS Sports organized a big bracket gimmick like we did here at the radio station, too. I don't know if we got any perfect. CBS organized a bracket for the men and women's tournaments. What the hell am I hearing?
Somebody's voicemail?
No idea.
We have a woman in the building somewhere on a walkie-talkie, and it's feeding into our microphones. So the eventual winner of both the men's and women's CBS March Madness bracket thing, the eventual winner gets 4 tickets to next year's Final Four. That's a huge prize. There wasn't a single person who managed a perfect bracket in the men's contest, but there are 4 people who so far have a perfect bracket in the women's tournament. Problem is, one of them, known only online as Rip, forgot to pencil in a champion. They do have LSU and South Carolina meeting in the final, but didn't pick a champion. So they might have might have pissed away 4 tickets to next year's Final Four.
I guess I haven't been making a bracket for that long for the men's tournament, but I was amazed by, I think it was after the first round, it gave me a notification on my ESPN app.
Yeah, it won't let you save it unless you've picked everything.
Oh, no, not that. It gave me a notification that like a certain amount of people only had a perfect bracket left. And I thought that number was insanely low. It was like 121 people. And is it really that hard?
Oh, it's super difficult.
But even the first round knocked out that many people.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
And this year there weren't that many upsets. So probably there were more people with perfect brackets after the first round than normal, just because there weren't that many big upsets.
I mean, consider this, Ashley. In the opening round, you need to pick 32. You need the correct answer. You need the winner. Correct on 32 different basketball games.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Put it that's
ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
All right.
Well, it's so tough, Ashley. Warren Buffett, for his employees, there's $1 million prize if you get a perfect bracket.
Whoa.
What does he do for a living?
He's like a billionaire investor. He's what's his name? Berkshire Hathaway? Is that the name of his
that's it. Yeah.
Here's an interesting little bit of information on a player who you can see tonight in the tournament. A forward on the Brigham Young Ball Club by the name of Richie Saunders. He's the great-grandson of someone named Francis Grigg, who is the inventor of the tater tot.
Oh,
I love the tater tot.
Me too.
When you're at the bar tonight with your bros and you see this Richie Saunders guy take the court for Brigham Young, you can turn to your pal and say, his great-grandfather invented the tater tot.
What a great man.
What a great anecdote to bring up on a first date.
Exactly, yeah.
So, I mean, there's so much to do tonight, and we haven't even gotten to all of it.
Yeah, it's a busy night.
Golden Gopher hockey in the NCAA tournament for the 1 millionth time. Let's see how far they can take this, Randy Shaver. Tonight they face the Massholes, the University of Massachusetts. Now, I wouldn't know the first thing about their hockey club, but they're in the tournament, so they must have something to offer. The University of Massachusetts Minutemen and the Golden Gopher. Game time is 7:30, televised on ESPN2. And as we talked a few days ago, they have a very, very tough bracket, their side of the bracket. If they can get past UMass, they play the winner of Western Michigan and all those 35-year-olds playing for Mankato State. And the number 1 overall seed is on their side of the bracket, Boston College, along with Bentley, Providence, and Denver. So, what the hell? I was sad to hear that Aaron Huglin, a senior for the Golden Gopher Hockey Club, won't be able to play in the tournament because of a leg injury, and so his career is over. He's a terrific player. He hurt himself in the Big Ten tournament in that game against Notre Dame. That sucks. And that's, you're going into the tournament shorthanded here, but I'll be watching tonight. I'll be watching.
You'll know where to find that tonight.
Yes, I will.
Yep.
ESPN Part 2. Pigs Capitals tonight at the X. You know the bit. Alex Ovechkin and his possibly historic season is wrapping up soon. So, if he scores 6 goals tonight, then fans who bought tickets
that would be historic.
Will witness history. Other than that, he's going to do it in someone else's rink.
That would be historic.
He needs 6 goals tonight, so all of us barrel-chested Minnesotans can say that we saw it in person. And we talked to Marcus Foligno yesterday about making a run at him. I have high hopes.
Fingers crossed.
A breakdancing competition is coming to town, Randy.
Oh,
What?
your favorite.
What?
Come on.
Be that an Olympic sport is coming to our town?
That's right. A breakdancing competition is coming to town. They call it the largest and most acclaimed breaking competition in the world. It's in town Saturday for its 5th Minnesota event. I didn't know they'd come to town so many times.
Wow.
It's at a place called Royalston Square.
I've never heard of that.
No, neither have I. But listen to how they describe it. 16 B-boys. Does B stand for breaking?
It's gotta.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll go along with it. 16 B-boys and 8 B-girls will compete against one another in a men's and women's bracket for the opportunity to compete at the May National Final in Colorado and the November World Final in Japan. They call it the Super Bowl of breaking. So you're done taking a dump on this sport, Randy? You did enough of it before the...
I'm not saying a thing.
Okay.
I don't want anybody... I don't want the backlash.
Yeah. No, I get it.
That might be kind of fun to go see.
I get it. Because before the Olympics, you were straight up pissed off that this was included.
It was just ridiculous. Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to give you any ammunition. It's fun.
I've got a lot of cardboard boxes just waiting to be broke down in my garage. Maybe we could pull out some of our old
That is the nice thing. It's not a very expensive sport.
No, you buy yourself some wind pants and you break down a cardboard box from a refrigerator your grandma bought a couple months ago, and you whip.
Yeah, I can definitely. I can't bring the moves, but I can bring the cardboard.
Here he is. Here we are. This is Josh's special 50th birthday celebration special show. I wonder who is the oldest active b-boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let's see.
Oh, yeah.
If we can look it up.
Who's the oldest active, competitive, what I'm trying to say, top-tier breakdancer?
Yeah, who's the Willie Nelson of breakdancing right now?
Because if you're 55 years old, it's your generation that created breakdancing.
I think it might be the first thing that came up was somebody named Ben Hart, and he was 60 in 2018.
Well, he prefers to go by B-Boy Benihana, Ashley.
That's
okay?
Come
on. Show some respect. The man's a legend.
You have to have a name.
Sorry.
Yeah, is that for real? Is he B-Boy Benny Hart?
Benihana.
Benihana? And he's 60-something by now.
What was the breakdancers? It was Trick. We used to work with Trick. Was there another one?
That's the only one I remember.
Trick, yeah.
We worked with a guy on the air years ago who grew up in Coon Rapids, Ashley, Coon Rapids. And he admitted that he was in a break-in crew. He grew up in the early 80s. He was a 13, 14-year-old kid in the early 80s. He was part of a break-in crew that would go town to town and challenge other crews to break-offs or whatever they call it. And he did not go by his given name with this break-in crew. He had a, what do you want to call it, like a stage name.
Yeah.
And his stage name was Trick, T-R-I-C. You got to have a stage name for the business.
And he was such a nerdy guy, it was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
What would your guys' stage name be?
J-Gun.
I'm sorry?
J-Gun.
J-Gun.
I'd go by J-Gun.
J-Gun? Boy, I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
That fits Josh perfectly. J-Gun.
J-Gun.
You know what song always comes to mind whenever we talk about breakdancing? Foot on the pedal, never ever false metal. Engine running hotter than a boiling kettle. What is it?
Beastie Boys?
Yeah, No Sleep Till Brooklyn. No. Beastie Boys. I don't know why. Whenever we talk breakdancing, that's the song that comes to mind.
Is there bad words in that?
No.
No.
And they've got that great line in the song where they say, I'll remember this till the day that I die. Who wrote this lyric? Our manager's crazy. He always smokes dust. He's got his own room at the back of the bus. I got to give him credit for that one.
It's one of those songs I've never actually really paid attention to the lyrics.
Well, they come and go pretty fast.
That's every song for me.
Ashley, while you're working the job 9 to 5, the Beastie Boys are at the Garden cold kicking it live. Limos, arenas, and TV shows, autograph pictures, and classy hoes. It's one of the few rap songs that I remember. That and, of course, the Humpty Dance. Which is the greatest rap song ever created, the Humpty Dance. How about we close you out, Randy Shaver, with a random sports fact? Maybe you can name it. What is the only city that's had 4 major sports teams play in a championship game in the same year? The only city that's had 4 major sports teams in a championship game in the same year. Does their baseball team have a shot maybe this year? They're pretty good. I think they made the playoffs last year. Let me think. Oh, their football team was very good this season. Very good. And we all should be thankful for them. Their hockey team currently is kind of a garbage pile. Their basketball team currently is a garbage pile. Any guesses, Randy Shaver?
Nope, not at all.
We should be thankful for their football team this year.
We should be thankful, very grateful to their football team this year. What city is it?
Philadelphia.
In 1980, the Phillies were in the World Series.
Yeah.
The Eagles played in the Super Bowl. The 76ers in the NBA Final, and the Flyers in the Stanley Cup. But only the Phillies were the ones to win a title. Maybe I should have stuck with rap lyrics. I really thought that would. I thought that would spur some conversation. I thought that was quite.
Well, Minnesota almost had one of those kind of years in 90. Was it 91?
Yes.
When the Stars made the Stanley Cup final, the Twins won the World Series.
Yeah, the Wolves missed out on the NBA Finals by quite a bit that year.
Yes, they did. And the Vikings were not. Were the Vikings a playoff team that year?
In 91, I would guess yes, they were.
Yeah. So I mean, kind of was there.
Yeah.
Timberwolves held us back.
Close enough.
I thought Boston might have been in there.
Well, it wasn't that long ago that they had Patriots, Bruins, and Celtics. Who am I missing? Who we missing?
Well, the Red Sox.
Red Sox, you're right.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long ago that 3 out of the 4 in Boston got her done. Oh, my God. Speaking of Philadelphia, I forgot that, Josh, you're still wearing your Rocky Balboa shorts.
Oh, yeah.
Josh just stood up to do something. And
my outfit is completely different than the one I showed up in.
For Cubby's 50th birthday, we brought him some presents, and he got some great stuff. Not to brag, but my wife and I got Josh the American flag shorts, trunks that Rocky Balboa wears in Rocky IV. And he's wearing them in the building. And they actually, I thought they would look ridiculous on you, but you actually wear those very well.
I thought they'd look dumber than they do. You also got me these Rambo socks.
Are you wearing them?
Oh, I didn't realize you put the socks on. You got to pull them all the way up.
Those look great. John Rambo just firing a weapon at...
Will you wear sandals with those?
You know what? I should get... My son stole mine, so I'll have to take them back.
Please get your sandals.
And Ashley made me a shirt that says honorary uncle. Because she knows how excited I am to become an honorary uncle.
That's adorable. Awesome. This outfit you have on, Josh, I don't care what my fiance says. I don't care what your wife says. You're wearing that Saturday afternoon at my wedding. Exactly what you have on right now.
Yeah, I would love that.
You know, it's funny. Dana, he got me a bunch of soup. He knows how much I love soup. And he texts my wife to ask what kind of soup to get. And she, not because I'm turning 50, she wants me to start eating low-sodium soup.
When you haul home that 250-pound box of soup, will you please go through there and show her that there are 1 or 2 low-sodium options that I threw in there?
That's none of her business.
Just for her?
None of her business.
What is your wife? Does she want to live forever? Is that her story? Constantly working out, barking at you now about low-sodium soup. Live a little, will you? Randy Shaver,
the first thing I'm going to do is salt the hell out.
Yeah, you love your salt.
I salt the salted soups. I don't know what she's talking about.
He keeps a bucket of Lowry's in his back pocket, for Christ's sake.
The number one thing I eat is probably salt.
Yeah. Randy, before we let you go, I just realized something. You have something in common with the Beastie Boys.
I'm not sure what that is.
Both of you. Always on vacation.
Oh,
and you
really?
both have a license to ill.
Oh.
You need a license for that.
Retired Randy Shaver, you're always on friggin' vacation, just like the Beastie Boys.
Sometimes it feels like that, yeah.
It should feel that way every day. If it was me, it'd feel that way every damn day.
Yeah.
Randy, you can go back to bed.
See you tomorrow.
See ya. We'll be right back on the program.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show.
Hey, you beautiful podcast listeners. Seriously, you folks are the best. We don't tell you that enough, but you are. And we couldn't do this without you, and we couldn't have a podcast if it weren't for our friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Right now, you can save up to $7,500 on a mini-split ductless system or a high-efficiency heat pump combo with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. I know those are some fancy terms, but what it really means is they're going to make sure you're comfortable in your own house. And get this, they even take care of that rebate paperwork for you. Visit standardheating.com to lock in your deal and enjoy the show. And seriously, you guys are the best.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states. Michael Rosenbaum and his Smallville co-stars take you behind the scenes of one of the greatest shows of all time.
We're going to watch every episode.
Join us. It's Big Talk.
You remember when I had to shave my head?
Oh, I think I was angry with this one.
On Smallville.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
The scene you did, and this is the one that got me fired, okay?
What?
Here we go.
I love the excursions with me and Welling.
It's everything that Superman stands for.
It's Talkville.
Talkville, we always talk about it. It's a great thing.
The Smallville Rewatch Podcast. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Nice.
93X.
All right.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Joshua, from the Half-Assed 93X Morning Show. Happy birthday to you.
Yes, welcome back to Cubby's special edition 50th birthday special show. A couple of listeners have sung to you today, Josh, on your 50th birthday. First off, that was Two Pumps and a Quiver, Jesus. Beautiful singing voice. And we've got another guy in our listening audience who chose to sing to you by the name of Goat Trucking, Jesus.
We've always said it's the most hilarious and talented group of people in the brother and sisterhood. And here's another example of that.
J is for Joshua. Joshua. Today is his birthday. He is 52 today. Yeah. Happy birthday, Joshua. Joshua.
He could front my rock band at any time.
Yeah. Guys watched a lot of South Park, is my guess.
But I do so appreciate the messages coming in. Very nice stuff. Unexpected, definitely undeserved. It's meant a lot to me. And I'll tell you what, this has been the best birthday yet.
The best one ever?
With thank you. Seriously, it means so much. And if I don't respond, it's just because it's been a busy text day. I'm doing my best, but I know I'm going to miss some. So thank you. If I miss you, thank you so much.
I've received a couple of messages on my personal telephone wishing you happy birthday. One from our friend, Dr. Andrea.
Oh, very nice. Thank you, Dr. Andrea.
And do you remember my friend Mac? He and his son came to the Mr. Big show.
Of course.
Mac texted in to tell you happy he and his son Tommy, who we went to the show.
Yeah, Tommy looked like he had a great time.
He was in awe of our favorite band, Mr. Big. So happy birthday to my pal Josh, the best friend I ever had and the single most talented radio personality the Twin Cities has ever heard.
Okay, not true on that, but thank you again. I got a funny text from a friend on my phone that said, happy birthday, you sawed-off, bow-legged, bed-wetting, trout-sniffing ass scratcher.
Oh!
That's awesome.
You are bow-legged.
A little bit,
and
yeah.
Pigeon-toed.
And duck-toed. I'm both.
Now that you're completely over the hill, do you have a different outlook on things at all? Is there anything?
Probably. But I'm concerned a little bit that I don't feel any more mature or any wiser than I did maybe when I was 16, 17 years old.
Throw that out the window.
I thought I would have more answers than I do because I always looked at elders as they knew everything.
Everybody feels this. Every swinging D on planet Earth and V knows exactly what you're talking about. I said that to myself at 20, 30, 40, 50. I thought I would know more about it. It just doesn't happen for some of us. It just doesn't happen, and that's okay. You know what you need to know.
I was thinking, okay, what would like the high school me think of 50-year-old me? And I know that high school me would really be sad that 50-year-old me is bald and has been for about 25 years.
Yeah, you're pretty bald.
Yeah. I think that'd be a big one.
Yeah. I think high school you would think quite highly of modern day you. Is there anything you want to do with what's left of your life?
No, that also concerns me. I have no bucket list. I don't have a 5-year plan.
Nothing special, meaningful, maybe even something not so meaningful.
I'm not going to invest in a real estate investment trust. There's nothing. Where my wife, I'd like to do more things my wife wants to do.
For Christ's sake.
I'm not trying to be sappy, but truthfully, because like I mentioned earlier, we're going to go on our first family vacation outside of Wisconsin or going up north. We're actually going to get on a plane and go somewhere as a big family. We've never done that before. So, I want to do kind of that kind of thing more because I know it's important to her.
It makes them happy.
Yeah.
When are you going to do something that makes you happy?
Well, I'm happy if they're happy.
What about changes? Maybe taking up smoking?
Nah, not going to do that. I thought I should maybe start working out a little more. I told you before, and I mentioned it this morning, I feel like maybe I should start dressing better because Adam Sandler and we dress exactly the same. I have his fashion sense.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There are some things wrong with the way you and Adam Sandler dress, actually, Ashley. But we don't need to get into that.
All right, then.
I do think there's something wrong with...
I'm with you on that one.
I do think there's something wrong with a grown man walking around town in basketball shorts. I do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I like oversized basketball.
So much.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
I don't go anywhere, so I don't see it. But yeah, oversized basketball shorts, oversized hoodie.
But then you hit an age again where like that's all you wear. I think of my dad. The majority of his life, he wore, regular T-shirts, but he always had a pair of Levi's on and his work boots. And now he hit a certain age where he's like, screw it. I'm wearing basketball shorts and then, what are those? Like running pants.
Okay.
Wind pants.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, wind pants.
I'm sorry to blow up, and maybe this was, boy, did I pick the wrong day to do it on his 50th birthday. But I do think after a certain age, if you put on basketball shorts, you better be playing basketball.
Well, as my oldest, Cam, always says, you never know when someone might need my jump shot.
That's true.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, so you don't have much on your mind for changes you want to make,
I'm open to
goals. Pardon me?
I'm open to suggestion if you guys have some.
That's fine. That's fine. I don't think you should feel any pressure to be any smarter, and I don't think you should feel any pressure to make any changes. I was just curious, but just know it's never too late. Like, say, for instance, there's a dude named Ray, well, he's probably dead by now, who turned McDonald's restaurants into the powerhouse that they are today, and he didn't reach that until he was 52 years old.
Ray Kroc was only 50, or excuse me, was 52.
You know the guy's name?
Oh, the McDonald's guy? Yeah.
Oh, is that common knowledge?
Not for me.
Oh,
I believe
Ray
so.
Kroc at 52. Oh, okay. He founded McDonald's at 52 and transformed it into the global giant that it is. Colonel F. Me running sideways Sanders didn't make Kentucky Fried Chicken a success until he was 62 years old. Martha Stewart launched her own magazine at 50. Is she a hero of yours, Martha Stewart?
No, but Oprah is.
Fair enough. Laura Ingalls Wilder didn't write the Little House on the Prairie series until she was 65.
Half Pint was 65.
That's right, Half Pint. Rodney Dangerfield didn't make it in comedy until he was in his 50s. He sold ties or something. I can't remember what he did for a living.
Does this inspire you at all, Josh?
No, because I'm 2 years away from Ray Kroc starting McDonald's.
Oh, that's 2 years you can get your own fast food empire up and running.
You think so?
Yeah.
What did I do? I've got so much in front of me. Cubby birthday stuff, March Madness stuff, Major League Baseball opening day stuff, NCAA hockey. What am I missing? The Pigs are playing tonight against Ovechkin. So I've got so much garbage.
And Marcus
in front of
is back. He told us yesterday Marcus Foligno will be back playing with Wild tonight.
And we know what he'll be doing before the game.
Oh,
yeah, dropping a deuce.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What did I do? Where is that article about sexual things you should not attempt once you hit 50? I don't know what happened to it.
I can print you another one.
Yeah.
Who has that?
Is it just everything?
Well, more or less, yeah. I mean, there's no reason to try to prove anything once you hit 50. But I don't know what I did with that article.
Ashley's got it. She's going to print it for
All right, I appreciate it. By the way, speaking of turning 50, or being 50 and older, earlier we were talking about a break dancing show is coming to town. And we were wondering about mature breakers, if that's the word. Are there some competitive break dancers who are in their 40s, 50s, or is it just a young person's game? My thought was, hell, it was people who are 55, 60 years old now. They're part of the generation who invented breakdancing, and you'd think they'd be the masters at the sport or whatever you want to call it. Got a text from a character by the name of Bowling Jesus. He was a b-boy, okay, back in the day. He's 50 years old now, and his b-boy name, we talked about how you got to have a stage name. His b-boy name was B-Boy Tick, T-I-C-K. And he says, I still dance at family gatherings.
Oh, that's great. I'd love to see that.
That is so fun.
I've always been jealous of people that can dance like that.
All right.
Me too. I have zero rhythm at all.
Neither does Josh.
Oh, I hate it.
It's pretty bad.
I try.
That's what my wife wanted to be, as a professional dancer. She's a great dancer, and I am the opposite of that.
The guy can play guitar, but keep it a beat, totally different story. He's fascinating in that way. Sexual activities you shouldn't do anymore once you turn 50. And, you could also make this 40, really. Because, again, what the hell are you trying to prove?
No, you and I are the only ones that are qualified. Well, I guess the younger folks can say if they'd like to keep doing it, but some of these, we'll have to chime in on whether or not we want to be able to do that even. Maybe we don't even want to do it.
I only glanced at the list earlier, and I think I can already tell you, I don't want to do any of these things.
I'm kind of with you on that.
I'm not in my 20s and 30s anymore. I don't care.
Yeah, there wasn't anything where I really thought, oh, yeah, I'm going to miss that.
Right.
There's a couple on here that I don't even want to do anymore.
Okay, Kama Sutra stuff. Okay, I never even dangled with that when I was a kid.
Nah, me neither.
Stupid.
I've always had like a couple of those books. Just people have given them to me as gag gifts.
Okay.
I have one that's like a gingerbread Kama Sutra book.
Oh, that'd be fun to watch.
Christmas themed.
Fun to look at.
That's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, I should bring it in.
When we're younger, we certainly want to try as many positions as possible. You watch a couple of porno movies. Oh, I think I can do that. Kama Sutra, throw it in the friggin' garbage. Those people were crazy.
Why is that? Going over this article, I had the same thought. Like, especially when you're in a new relationship, and I haven't been in a new relationship in over 20 years. So
yeah, that needs to change.
I don't know if so. There's times I think my wife's going to push me there, right? She's going to want me to. She's going to leave me. But so I wonder, would I still have that interest in a new? I don't think I would.
No.
But when you're younger, yeah, you want to try everything.
Yeah. See if something feels a little bit different. All-nighter type stuff. Of course not. It'll kill you dead. And it mentions here, once you hit 50, schedule intimacy, is how they say it, when you're both awake and energized, like after your afternoon nap.
That is my favorite part.
Night long? What, are you kidding me, all night long? Hell no.
Has anyone here ever scheduled or had a day? Like, it's sex day.
No.
Yeah, I haven't either.
No. I mean, the furthest I've gone is, how about when I get back from running errands?
Yeah, so that's the only real plan, sure.
Yeah.
Doing it on the kitchen counter and whatnot.
Certainly make food.
Friggin', I didn't even think about that because we order in a lot. I didn't think about that. Just they're mentioning here the hard surfaces. Hell no.
Yeah, it's fun for maybe like 2 minutes.
You end
and
up
then it starts to get sore.
One of your kneecaps ends up in your thigh and just awful. Car sex. You're too old for car sex now, Josh.
No, that's one I wouldn't want to give up.
Really?
I don't remember the last time that's happened, but I'd be cool with that.
I guess I've always been.
I mean, not my car or my wife's car, but just somebody's car.
I've always thought I didn't want to mess up my car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think if you have anything else available, I'll skip that.
I don't want to make a mess in my car. I like my car to stay relatively.
My orgasms are dry.
Oh, God.
What?
Shower sex, that'll put you in the emergency room faster than you can say Jack Robinson once you hit 50. Shower sex. Again,
overrated.
Yes.
I told you that before I even looked thoroughly at this list. I knew I would say no or be uninterested in all of them.
I tried that once as a young man, and I was greatly disappointed. I thought things were going to be a lot cooler than that. Then one person's freezing.
Always.
I was always the one who was freezing. Okay, all of these on the list so far have been recognizable sex acts, I guess, is the best way I can put it. Kama Sutra. Every couple in the world has at least thought about, hey, do you want to read the... going all night. Sure, every couple's done that. Doing it on countertops and whatnot. Having sex in a car, having sex in the shower. But next up on this list of sexual activities that you shouldn't do anymore once you hit 50, I've never even heard of this. The quickie in the closet? What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah, that's in movies a lot, where they're like, they have a quick session in the coat room.
Yeah, grab someone, pull them in the back closet?
Yeah, if there's like a party going on, go to the closet.
Okay. I guess I was being too literal there.
Like you thought maybe you come home to your house and then you go into the closet?
Yes. Yes. And I was wondering, well, why in God's name would somebody do that? Okay. You're at a house party, you're at in a public, like whatever, a ball game, and you pull someone into a janitor's closet. Okay.
That's your only privacy.
Yeah, I was being way too literal and thinking, you got a bed right there, you got the floor, why are we going into the closet where I keep my underwear?
Hey, babe, I'm going to slip on something a little more comfortable. Meet me in the closet.
Yeah. Sorry, I have that problem now and again. Or, Josh, have you been interested in any of these? Oh, the car. You said you might still do it in the car.
Car, I'd still.
Well, you love cars.
Sure, I do.
You love cars. You're a car guy, so probably something about cars does turn you on.
Maybe.
Right.
And I've said before, at times I worry people where I just kind of like hanging out there sometimes.
Yeah, you like to sit in your car.
I'll get home and I'll just sit there for a while. I like being in there.
This is not your game, and I doubt it. I'm sure it never was. Finally, on this list of sexual activities you shouldn't do anymore once you turn 50, I'd say more like 40. The overly ambitious role-playing.
I've never done. Never.
Where you walk into the room dressed as a cowboy or something like that.
No.
That's not your thing.
Yeah, I even had. I was with someone. I don't want to divulge her name. Let's just call her Fife. I was with someone who kind of put on an outfit, right?
Yeah.
And it was so ridiculous.
Was it?
Yeah, I just said, we can't do that. And it wasn't like something silly.
What was the outfit?
It was like lingerie. And I know.
Oh, well, that's not an outfit.
Well, to me,
or
it
costume.
Was. You know what I mean? Like it's dressing up for that.
Okay.
And I just realized, I don't need any of that.
But she never came running into the room as a cheerleader or anything like that?
No, nothing like that.
I can see Cubby walking in, spurs on his boots and the whole work. But he's got the assless chaps. You want to tell you, little lady, you want to take on my six-shooter?
I have my cowboy name is Dusty Spurs.
Dusty.
If we ever switch to a country station, I'm Dusty Spurs.
Yeah. The overly ambitious role-playing. Keep it simple, they say. Save your energy for the main event. Oh, God.
It should be plain, it should be boring, and there should be a lot of guilt and regret afterwards. That's what sex should be.
That's how the Catholics do it.
93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Isn't that a religious show? With all the Jesus and Sheezus talk?
Oh, hell no.
Just kidding. They suck.
93X.
I'll tell you what, you've been listening to Cubby's super special 50th birthday special show. We're about ready to wrap it up. 1974 is when the man was born.
5. So you aged me a year.
Oh, I thought it was 74.
Yeah, 75.
Oh, yeah, I have that right in front of me. I just read it wrong.
Conceived in 74.
You bastard.
Okay, conceived in 74.
Yuck.
Sorry to put that thought in your head.
That's the first time my parents had sex. They had sex 3 times, about a year and a half apart each time.
Just for fun, I've been looking up, other things that were going on when you came out the chute. Movies like The Towering Inferno. Oh, one of my favorite movies. Oh, my damn, I love The Towering Inferno. Paul Newman and Steve McQueen. Are you kidding me? Can you imagine how many women were trying to break onto that movie set back in 1974-5?
Probably most of the female population.
O.J. Simpson was in that movie, too. Other movies that were popular when Cubby was born. The Godfather Part 2. Never saw it.
I haven't seen a full version of any of those.
Benji. Oh, we can't talk about Benji.
No.
We can't talk about Benji. We especially can't talk about what happened to Tiffany. Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein.
Oh, 2 of my favorites.
A 6-pack of Pepsi-Cola. You ever drink any Pepsi-Cola?
Sure.
A 6-pack? Pardon me. Yes, a 6-pack of 12-ounce cans was 88 cents.
That's an incredible difference from what it is today.
Minimum wage was $2 an hour.
That's the average radio salary still.
Hello Kitty was introduced.
I love Hello Kitty.
I'm surprised it's that old. Jaws, I think, came out in 75.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Jaws came out in stinking 75.
Hello Kitty used to be my girl.
The top Hollywood hunks were Robert Redford and Burt Reynolds. Oh, man.
I don't want to say what show it is because I don't want to ruin the spoil. There's not a new, it's in its second or third season, but there's a current season running of a show where Robert Redford and, the guy that wrote Game of Thrones. He's got letters.
R.R. Martin or J.R. Martin or something?
Yeah, they make a cameo in it. It's just so out of nowhere, it's hilarious.
One of the top catchphrases was "tastes great, less filling."
Oh, that was a great one.
and this will bring an emotional end to Cubby's super special 50th birthday special show. Although I'm sure there's a lot of people you want to thank this morning before we go or say hello to.
Of course.
One of the other top catchphrases, Dynamite.
Oh, that's a good one.
Nice.
Dynamite. He even had a song. I mean, Jimmy Walker, I don't think, sang on the song, but there was a song in the mid-'70s where it was just like a cool disco tune, and there were, little edited parts of the song where he would just be screaming Dynamite. That's how big that was back in the day. Happy birthday, Cubby.
Thanks, man. And it's so appropriate that I can say you're my best friend because Queen put out A Night at the Opera in 1975.
A Night at the Opera. Oh, yeah. I listen to that record quite often with that single on it. You're my best damn friend.
Song.
And Bohemian Rhapsody, for the love of Christ.
Well, before we qualify somebody for free gas for a year, thank you to Dana Ashley and the greatest best friend, a guy who certainly doesn't deserve it, could ask for, my man Nick. Appreciate you guys planning such a nice 50th. And I also wanted to thank, of course, the brother and sisterhood. A lot of generous texts and emails coming in this morning, and it truly means a great deal to me. So if I don't respond, it's because I haven't been able to. You've been so great. We've been a little overwhelmed. I don't deserve it, so I sure do appreciate it, though, and I hope that shows. So sincerely, thank you again.
Hey, you beautiful podcast listeners. Seriously, you folks are the best. We don't tell you that enough, but you are. And we couldn't do this without you, and we couldn't have a podcast if it weren't for our friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Right now, you can save up to $7,500 on a mini-split ductless system or a high-efficiency heat pump combo with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. I know those are some fancy terms, but what it really means is they're going to make sure you're comfortable in your own house. And get this, they even take care of that rebate paperwork for you. Visit StandardHeating.com to lock in your deal and enjoy the show. And seriously, you guys are the best.